Hi! If you thought everything yesterday was super cool and all of that fun stuff, well then you would be right, but also at the same time wrong. We have the semifinals today between four amazing teams. Of course, only two of those teams are going to be walking back into the Grand Champs for Season 4. But we're going to have to wait and see how that all goes down. My name is Max Tompkins. You might also know me as Keglanek, but we have amazing casters here today as well that will help guide you guys into an amazing time for these next two sets. Hello, Blue Panda, and hello, Crow. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
I mean, look, hey, coming into this, I think if you went into the Christmas break and you were saying, you know, we're going to see Pryde and Emergence in the semifinals, I don't think anyone would have believed you. These guys, they had some rough seasons, I will be perfectly honest, but seeing them make it through, we're going to get to see not only that, but a repeat of Pryde versus Team 99 in the semifinals. These guys have really ramped up coming to the end of the competition.
Absolutely. But here's the thing too, right? We saw from Emergence's beautifully put interview yesterday with Son of Finn how much they've trained and trained and trained. He said it himself. It is the same team, but it is completely different in terms of roles and how they conduct everything. And I think that's going to be one of the craziest things that we see going into here tonight. But Crow, talk to us about what we can see from Team 99 and Pryde going into the semifinal matchup.
So Team 99, if you're aware of their history, were previously known as Lycus Empire. After they left the org, the entire roster had a shuffle. Now, Braxton and Cal are the only original members left. They've now picked up Rizzer, who used to be on Pryde, I believe, and now have Bry and Riot the Ranked Star. Unfortunately, I believe Cal is being subbed out. Currently, he's indisposed. There's something going on with him, so they're having their coach Rob, which might be a little bit of a hindrance, because not only does that mean, one, you're a new roster, you're not as tried and true as some of the other guys. Two, you're not playing at full strength because you don't have all 5 of your players. And three, Pryde has been looking exceptional ever since the new pickups of Crafty and Salt. Their previous game against Team 99 is, I mean, to put it bluntly, they were trolling. It was a game that, win both maps or lose, could not change Pryde's standings, so why even try? So I think we're finally going to get the match that we deserved originally here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much the same in that opinion. We were not seeing peak Pryde. I think they were coming into the final game of the season. I think they were very, very confident that they were going to be able to win those quarterfinals and make it through, which is why we saw them play the way they did. They wanted to keep as much as possible under wraps so that when they got to the semifinals and we're going to be versing up against Team 99 again, they were going to be bringing their A game. So it really does become a question of, are Team 99 coming into this reading that was, you know, the best that Pryde had to bring in the final game of the season, or are they going to give the respect that is due? Are they going to take this as seriously as they possibly can, knowing full well that if they lose this, obviously they don't make it to the grand finals?
Now let's take a look at this bracket here as well. 2 semifinals. Of course, we are talking about Team 99 and Pryde, but later on we also have Emergence and Down to Earth. I'm sure we have a lot to talk about with them as well, but I want to focus on Team 99 again. Crow, you brought up how some of the roster might be changing up tonight, coach going in and playing. You mentioned how that might affect how they play as well. But do you think maybe once we see those maps, it could be a bit of a benefit for them too? It could be a mix-up for Pryde.
It could be a mix-up because obviously Team 99 are going to play slightly differently than normal if they have that sub, but I mean, no matter what, I think a sub will always hurt more than it helps. The unpredictability factor is not as big as the fact that now you don't have 20% of your roster. You don't have a key member. Sure, Rob might know the strats at a book level. It looks good on paper, but whether or not he's actually to execute those strats in the game and fulfill the role that he's put on, which is something that he's not used to as a player, is a completely different story. Plus, there's always that mantra of, you know, coaches are coaches because they can't play. So we'll see how Rob does. As you see, it's Bry, Riot, Cal, Braxton, and Rizzer, their newest pickups. Bry and Riot have been doing exceptionally well. Them coming from that kind of quote-unquote ranked star background, and Rizzer has also on his flex role been doing pretty well. But a couple people I want to highlight on Pryde specifically. We have Oni, Dylan, Sam, Salt, and Crafty. Dylan against Frog Champ on what was that, yesterday? How many times did we see Dylan clutch up and win the rounds for his team. If it had not been for Dylan, that could have been a 2-0 for Project.
One thing I really like seeing from Pryde's side is that we saw Crafty and Dylan kind of go as this tag team duo at the clutch ends of all those defensive rounds.
Yeah, the Dylan, of course, being more of the star, but I mean, he was paired with multiple Bs. Sometimes it was Crafty, sometimes it was Oni. It was typically one of those guys. Usually Crafty, just because Crafty is more on the support role, so he's not really going to be in the fight. He's more likely just to be one of those last remaining players. But the clutch factor of Pryde, I think, is something that cannot be understated, and especially with Crafty and Salt playing a hell of a lot more competently on Pryde than they did on Synthetic. I think Pryde is definitely a force to be reckoned with. I think that they can definitely take it to Team 99.
Ooh. I mean, it's a scary matchup for sure for both teams, but Blue Panda, going back to Team 99 really quick, say they had their optimal roster, there were no substitutes or anything, do you think even then Team 99 would have a really good chance up against this new and powerful Pryde?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Team 99's probably had one of the most tumultuous runs in terms of rosters throughout Season 4, and even then, they have been able to put up the results. So, I don't believe that's, just having one sub in is enough to count them out of this competition. But obviously, there is concern. The fact that Pryde has systematically ramped up throughout the season. They came in after the Christmas break. They were really, really starting to pick up those big wins. And now they're coming into the semifinals in a rematch of that final match of the season, like I'm talking about throughout this whole thing. I think there should be genuine concern. This is probably going to be a lot more even than I think people are even considering, especially given those map bans that we have coming through. Cafe, Villa, and Clubhouse. So kind of the tier 3 starter pack you're going to today. We're not going to see the fun maps like Coastline or Crow's favorite map, Oregon.
Okay.
But but we're going to see some stuff that should be, core in the map rosters for both these teams.
Now, one map that's really sticking out to me here, and sure, it's kind of on that border of being a vanilla map in Siege right now, is going to be the Villa pick, map number 2 that we have to see here tonight. The strategies, and Crow, you brought this up yourself, for the coach playing in here tonight has the book strategies. Villa is one of the most, I would say, strat-heavy maps in the entire game once it comes to different varieties of playing. Do you think that's going to affect Team 99's overall strategy?
I mean, without a doubt, they'll have to shove him on a role that he may or may not be comfortable with. I would imagine he's going to be on Cal's role, which is hard support. Typically, when you have a coach subbing, and we've seen it time and time again in Pro League and stuff like that, when a coach subs in, they're usually on hard support. So the fact that that's that the player who's absent is the role that Rob is likely to be filling is definitely a big factor. I mean, it's going to help Team 99 a lot. But Villa being a more strategic map. Oh, Cal is playing? Oh, hi, he doesn't need to sub out.
This just
Sick.
in!
All
No
right, so
more subs!
Ferme thinks he's playing, so we'll have to wait till we actually get in the game. But hypothetically, if Rob is playing, it's something great that he'll be picking up the support role, because that's an important role on Villa. If not, and Team 99 are at their full power, I think Pryde definitely need to watch out for a map like Villa, where Pryde is. I think Team 99 is definitely a much looser team than Pryde, especially with how they've been playing with their new pickups. And sure, Villa might be a little bit more of a strategic map, but with the new meta, we've seen it become a lot more like Oregon, where it's starting to lean into that swinger be swung.
Fair enough, but here's my big question too, is that Pryde, Villa is going to be their map as well. So T99 at the very least needs to win their first map being Cafe, but Panda going into Villa, are you expecting this to be the most hotly contested map of the 3? Even if we even do get to 3 maps?
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen these guys play Cafe in the last week or so. We haven't seen a hell of a lot of Villa between the two. So I think if that is a map that could push it to the final decider, I think this is going to be the map for Pryde. I think they're probably going to struggle on Cafe. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one, if not more, overtimes coming up through the series. But I just have to anticipate that 99 are going to be that little bit stronger on Cafe.
Ooh. Now, Crow, I know both of you guys are having different predictions right now. Do you agree with that statement? Do you think that Team 99 is going to walk home with Cafe? Cal or no Cal?
I don't know. I personally haven't seen Team 99 play all that much. The one thing about Cafe that I will say is that this is one of Pryde's best maps. We saw Emergence beat Wichita Wolves yesterday on Cafe. That's a map Pryde has taken away from Emergence. This so far has been a very consistent one for them. However, Team 99 at the same time have also been pretty dominant and tend to be the looser team, which Cafe kind of leans more towards. So I would agree. I think it's more of an advantage over to Team 99, but I still think it's going to be really close.
Fair enough. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? We're going to have to go into the game relatively soon, but if you're a team out there who hasn't joined SCS yet for Season 5, well, my big question to you is, what are you doing? You got to go enter into SCS for Season 5. If you look down below, you can see www.scsesports.com. You can see in the lower right of the screen, too. But if you want to join those open qualifiers, it's from February 3rd to the 5th of this year, and it's going to be unlimited amounts of teams. You and the entirety of all of T3, and maybe even plus, can completely join in as long as you have 5 people on your roster. But here's the catch, though. Only 10 of them can advance. So if you think you can beat out Team 99, or maybe you think you can even beat out Pryde, well, first of all, good luck. But second of all, you have a chance to do that on February 3rd. But if you can't make that date or you miss it, you always have the 10th to the 12th of February as well. From there, though, all the 10, I suppose 20 teams that will win from both sides will move on to the closed qualifier, where 22 teams will be entering, but only 10 of those will advance on forwards, and then Season 5 is finally going to kick underway. It's really exciting to see which teams can come out on top there, and you can see all the pricing down below as well. But again, if you think you can beat out Team 99, Emergence, Pryde, all those different teams that we're going to see tonight, well, there's only one way to find out, and that's going to be you guys getting on that keyboard and playing against all these teams. Stage 1, of course, can be 5 weeks with 12 groups, 12 teams in 2 groups, with a best of 2 every week for the season itself. Now, only 4 teams from each group are going to advance on to Stage 2. This sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? It's like some other awesome leagues we've seen before, much higher up in the Siege ladder. But even then, Stage 2, going to be 3 weeks of pure awesomeness, but also a double elimination for 8 teams in a best-of-3 format. Panda, Crow, aren't you guys excited for this?
Yeah, and we'll be back next season.
What do you know? What, you guys are joining? No way. Look how amazing and perfect and professional we all look here. This is what we look like all the time.
I'm the only one that stays the same. That's only because I have the one photo I'm working with at the moment. But
you're perfect.
Look,
that's why.
It's a great lineup of casters. There's some huge talent here, and we're obviously doing big things. I'm super excited going into Season 5. Season 4 was an absolute blast. We had some phenomenal games. There's some great highlights out there as well. And if this is what we're setting the standard as, Season 5 can only be better. I'm excited to see, because I know there are a bunch of teams out there that are looking to get involved that missed out only just through the qualifiers for Season 4. So they're looking for that chance, their shot at Season 5, their shot at the title. So, look, it's only going to ramp up from here.
Absolutely. And of course, with that being said, if you haven't joined in SCS, again, what are you doing? You have a team, go for it. You might have a chance to win it all. We are looking for those underdog powerhouse teams all the time, and who knows? We'll have to see what happens towards the end of Season 5. But with all that being said and done, Panda and Crow, it's so good to have you guys for this matchup here. I'm really excited to see how this is all going to go down. I think Cafe and, of course, it's going to be Cafe and Villa are going to be really powerful maps. We are going to be having a short delay while we get things set up on the back end. So I'm going to give you guys one opportunity. I try to do this with all the casters. If you want to change your predictions, now is the time. Especially you, Crow. You're kind of on the you're against the majority here.
No, I'm sticking.
Ooh, Panda, are you gonna stick?
I mean, as much as I'm a big fan of the Pryde boys, they have been together a little bit longer. There's just that X factor that comes out of Team 99. They've consistently been able to put up the results despite finding themselves with different players each week. I mean, Braction as well in the charge. The guy's got a massive brain when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege. He makes some great calls, and I just have to back them in this situation. I'd love to be proved wrong. I'd love to see Pryde move on to the grand finals, but my gut is just telling me that it's going to be Team 99 walking away with a win.
I mean, you're going to need that, prediction to be right with that 17%, but the community poll also agrees with that as well. 57% of people thinking that Team 99 is going to walk home away with this. And I think the biggest X factor, like you both said, will be depending on whether or not Team 99 has their full roster or not.
Yeah, which they do. It's confirmed Cal is playing.
Oh.
So.
All right, there you go. Are you sure you don't want to change it now?
No.
Oh.
I still think Pryde are a little bit more of a known quantity, and on maps like Villa and Club, that'll definitely work to their advantage. I think it's going to be 2-1 Pryde.
Okay. So you do think we're going to see map 3?
Yes.
What about you, Panda? Do you think we're going to go all the way to map 3?
100%. In fact, I'd probably be a little bit disappointed if it didn't go the full distance with two teams of this caliber. It should be neck and neck throughout the entire run. I would be surprised if we have, a win, difference more than 3 or 4 rounds. I think that'd be a bit of an upset, in all honesty. I'm anticipating these guys to be neck and neck going into the half. And then from there, it's just going to be an absolute slugfest to see who makes it over the finish line. Now, obviously, there is a bit of a delay. The players are just having some issues with Uplay at the moment, unfortunately. So we are just waiting on that to be solved. My first thing is, we're going into Cafe first up, Crow. What do you reckon the half's going to be? Because I'd be surprised if it wasn't 3-3.
I think we'll definitely have to wait till the ban phase, till op bans. Cafe's been leaning more towards 3-3s now instead of the traditional 4-2 defensive split that we usually see. If a team is really comfortable attacking, a lot of times we'll even see 4-2 attacker halves. But again, I think we're gonna have to wait till the op bans to just see how preliminarily stuff is gonna lean.
And Panda, I think you bring up a great point too. I think it was Pryde yesterday up against Frog Champ where we saw them bring out some of the wildest defender picks that we've seen in a while, that being Warden and Frost and some of the Oregon sites. Do you think we're going to see some other crazy defending operators come out with their team again tonight?
I think, with the changes that have been made in the most recent series of patches, moving away from that utility dump meta, there is more room for those out there picks that we have seen less of. As soon as those changes were made, Warden saw a huge spike in popularity because Ying was enabled and stuff like that. The likes of Alibi as well has made it more into the mainstream of pickups for the defense because she has that shield. So, yes, I think there is a possibility. We're not going to see it every round, but I think there are a couple of rounds where we could see something that is a little less conventional coming out from both these teams. It is that X factor that can catch your opponents off guard and enable you to pick up some pretty significant rounds.
And Crow, do you think we're going to see some wild operator picks again?
Nah, Frog Champ are trollers. So that's kind of why we were seeing those picks. They're a ranked stack. They were having fun. We've got two much more down-to-earth, I guess down-to-earth teams, barring the org, here. So the most we'll probably see is a Frost, just because Frost has started to come into her own on certain maps. Probably not Cafe. We'll probably see a lot more of her on either Villa or Clubhouse, if we do. She's still kind of a rarity. But that's probably the craziest it's gonna get. Maybe an Oryx here and there, but nothing insane.
Ooh, an Oryx on Cafe. It's not something you see too often.
Yeah, the top-down play from Cafe functions very similar to the top-down play on Consulate a lot of times, which favors the Oryx play, and it frees up a lot of movement if you bring him, and he can just, go through the hatches, bust through walls, do whatever the hell he wants, rotate any which way.
Fair enough. We don't get to see enough Oryx, I feel like, in any competitive league.
Yeah. He's one of those operators that you've got to take someone else out to fit him. So whatever site you're running, you have to make sure all your bases are covered before you take the Oryx. Like maybe you're going to take an Oryx to replace like a Vigil or another Roamer, or even like a Jaeger if you have a Wamai, or you don't really think you need those ADSs, like maybe they're not running as many nades or whatever. Then you can kind of free up and pick an Oryx, but otherwise, it's just there's more important operators to bring instead of him. That's usually why you don't see him.
Fair enough. My question for you, Panda, though... Oh, never mind. I think, you know what? Forget about the Oryx. We can say... Oh, we're almost ready. Never mind. But you know what? I do have a question for you about the Oryx. So, you come from a more of an ANZ background. I'm wondering, do you see more Oryx plays in that field of Siege, or is it more just we don't see him at all on the board?
It depends on what level of competition you're looking at. I know, further down in T3, you're not going to see anything like the Oryx. A lot of T3 teams in ANZ, they're very stuck in their ways. They will pick what is meta and really rigidly stick to that. But you get higher up towards the top of tier 2, tier 1, you will see teams who are willing to shake things up, go for those unconventional picks. So, it's a possibility. but it's a rather unlikely one, if I'm being perfectly honest. As much as I do love the Jordanian himself, he makes for a great change up in the way that, you know, Roma's play. It's not every day that you see someone jumping between the floors as progressively as he does, or charging through walls, knocking someone over, and then blasting them with the shotgun, which, I mean, I've encountered plenty of times in ranked. So
I'm so sorry.
Hey, look, it's brutal, but it's funny as hell to watch. But I don't think we're going to see that level of, you know, free play, I suppose, or recklessness. I mean, it's an operator that can be punished quite heavily if you aren't covering all your bases, like Crow said. But we have just had confirmation we are going to be sending it straight live. Keg, we'll see you back as soon as we head to the next break. Crow, we're coming into it. Cafe to start things off. And Riz, he's keen and ready to go.
Yeah, finally, we can stop stalling. Wow, Riz and Crafty both okay.
They're keen.
And Pryde's gonna get the first man. So, starting on defense, it's Cafe. It's probably gonna be Thatcher. I would imagine. Actually, well, I don't know what Team 99 bans. Last time we had Thatcher, Capital being the bans on Cafe. I'm not sure if Team 99 are going to want to swap that up, but no, it's actually going to be completely different. Pryde are going to take out one of the most important hard breachers on this map, and it's going to be Ace first. So we'll probably see Hibana or Thermite, or maybe even Maverick if Thatcher is banned, run every single round.
Yeah, I mean, since Ace has become available in comp play, he really just has cemented himself. And he's a more secure version of Thatcher. Thermite, sorry. He has an AK-12. He's just an absolute powerhouse. Yeah, Thatcher, no surprises whatsoever. On the defensive side, there is any number of possibilities. Wheremai was the one I was expecting. Team 99 have been pretty consistent in banning him out. He just enables so many holds, especially on Cafe. Potentially a Mirror, potentially a Valkyrie, potentially something like an Echo, but I mean, it's Pryde. It's anyone's name.
Because Pryde don't typically run a lot of Valk, and Team 99 playing as aggressively as they do. Nope, it's going to be Mira. Okay, so leaving Valk up against a hyper-aggressive roster like Team 99 is almost unconventional. So unless Pryde are going to make really, really, really good use of the Valkyrie on their own defensive split, I definitely have to call that decision into question.
Well, I mean, we saw it in the last match of regular season. It was Braction running it, and he was an absolute fiend, going for an outs, going for spawn peaks. And, well, yeah, Dylan is going to be the one to bring it, and we see a kitchen hold to start things off. Bry locking in something. Well, okay, there we go. 6 pick out for Capital makes a little bit more sense, and we are going to see the Frost making its way in. Dylan not going for the information gathering Navy SEAL.
So we're going to see Frost. So it does make sense that Frost is going to be played on this bomb site in particular. If you're going to be doing it on any site on this map, it's kitchen, just because you're going to be putting them by, like, prep window, coat check, small bake, stuff like that. Maybe even behind the bakery counter. Places like that where you can't really access them from upside down rappels. You have to choose, you know, when you jump in, are you going to look down and try and shoot the frost mat, or are you going to try and take the fight? That's why frost mats in, like, coat check are really powerful. This one, if you're positioning players inside a bakery, which they are, hence the castle and the rotates in, there's the coat check one. So I do definitely like the Frost pick, and honestly, you don't really need a Valkyrie for this site. Valkyrie is more a bar cocktail or reading operator. So I think this could definitely be a game changer for Pryde.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that coat check Frost mat doing big work yesterday. I believe it was in the Emergence matchup against the Wichita Wolves, and they had a player sitting there as well. They were such a heavy nuisance that the player jumped in, got the kill, but landed on the mat because he didn't have time to swing back. So it's going to be interesting to see how this does affect play, and already looking to get things started up, looking to get involved, trying to get themselves into the building, and X-Kairos being used to open the roof hatches. That's an interesting call that has been made, but obviously, for some reason, it wasn't given over to Riot or Braction.
Oh, you know what I just realized? I forgot,
what was that?
EJ is on the support staff of Pryde, and Pryde are bringing Frost. So EJ's probably mauling for that one. Grave shut him down. Grave said, no, we're running it. There's nothing you can do about it. But already the attackers have control of the top 2 floors. So only a minute down. However, something strange They only have 3 breaching charges to work with. Make that 2. So you got 2 breaching charges, the Ash charges, and the Zofia impacts as your only source of soft breach. No Sledge, no Buck. I mean, not a lot of breach. You could have had like 9 breaching charges or 12 if you really wanted to, but they've only brought 3, and you can see they're going to be using their projectile explosives to get that floor open. And with operators on the board like the Frost, who has a shield, like Jaeger, like Castle, like Malusi, all this indestructible stuff, them not having those at their disposal at the latter half of the round might really hurt them. So I'm curious to see what happens during the execute, but already Braxton on that fragging roll, he'll get the entry pick on the Salt, and Crafty will soon follow.
Yeah, I mean, losing out on 2 very, very key players in this Pryde roster already is going to make that defense that much harder, especially with the amount of time left on the clock. Team 99, they've got the vertical control. They can start to put the screws to Team Pryde here, start to work their way in down towards the bomb site. So we'll see if Pryde can hold on here. You got Oni playing red stairs. This could be a rather decisive position to hold if he can find some frags here, if he can look to do some real damage. He's looking for that air jab, looking for what he can. He's going to spot it out, so has the potential to rotate up, but it's going to be a freezer drop. 2 quick kills going the way of Pryde, evening things up here. So we are back to a 3-3, losing Brian and Wright. That little bit harder. They won't have the asphyxiating bolts. Riz goes down as well. It's the vertical play. Sam's relocated. He's out in position to punish, but it's Kali. The refrag out there brings it back to a 2v2, picking up Braxton, saving him from the withstand. Crow, it's all kicking off, but there's no time left. It's going to be Oni to find one. Kali does go down, and now Braxton, with a sliver of health, gets shut down as well. Pryde take round 1. That was chaotic, to say the very least.
Yep, chaotic and honestly kind of how I expected it to go. If you're Team 99, you use all of your destruction upstairs and kind of honestly all in the same-ish area. There wasn't a lot of spread out vertical play. The defenders were perfectly happy to just sit in sight where they were already positioned. There was not a lot of flushing out going on. Sure, if you're Team 99, you get those first 2 opening picks, but there was so much time being wasted. You finally drop in a freezer, and there's a castle barricade in your way. Someone's peeking the window, so you're just going to get clapped, and you have to use the Hibana on the castle barricade. That takes so long. The defenders knew you were trapped inside. There's a flanker upstairs who gets a pick and is able to down Braxton, in which case Cal has to spend that time picking him up with only 20 seconds left in the round. They're starved of utility, they're starved of time. They just have to, again, just hot drop in, and the defenders are there with waiting arms. So, really good defense from Pryde. Again, I really have to question the substantial lack of soft destruction, and you can see Team 99 are already going to swap off the Zofia and onto the Sledge.
Well, I mean, we X-Kyras we used to open up the hatches on the roof. They were then committed to the castle barricades. They were trying to save that soft breach for some reason, and then it really, ultimately, it almost worked against them a little bit towards the end there. Sam was able to get in position, heavily punish them as they did push down into the bomb site. So, again, it's these little decisions which are costing Team 99. Hopefully, they can start to bring it back, starting to get themselves into it in a more significant way, but a very solid round for Pryde to start things off. They going down to such a deficit early on, then able to bring it back, then able to close out the round the way they did, that they kept their cool, and it's as simple as that as to how they kept that round together.
Yeah, so Pryde, pretty great recovery there. 3v5 for them. We're still in tactical timeout as I guess Team 99 were really not happy with that round. Honestly, that was less on the team play, and I think more...
I believe it was Pryde that called that, actually.
Oh, was it Pryde who called it?
Yeah, Pryde are calling the tactical timeout.
Oh, you're right. It was Pryde. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, so there's a tech issue. All right, so that's why. I was gonna say, it would make sense for if anyone called a tactical timeout, it would be the person who just lost the round, but it was actually Pryde because some kind of technical issue had occurred. They've got 2 minutes left on their tech pause, but. Yeah, honestly, for Team 99, I think that was less, of a fault in team play, and just they didn't have the right tools for the job. That's kind of all it comes down to. So hopefully they're going to be a lot better on this site. They're going to be attacking bar. You guys can't see it right now because, hi, we're here. But they're operating a lineup on the defense consists of Mozzie, Jaeger, Mute, Castle, and Maestro. So it's pretty similar. You don't have the Frost. You've got a little bit more drone denial. Instead of the Malusi, you've got the Maestro instead for a little bit more intel. And on the attack, you've got a hell of a lot more utility. Instead of, what do they have? The Capitao, they now have the Sledge. They've still got Ash and Zofia, so they have plenty of soft destruction, plenty of explosives to go around. The only hard breacher they've got is the Hibana, but honestly, with her buff, that's kind of all you need, and we're going to be able to get back into it. Thank God the timeout's over.
6-pick into the Valkyrie off the
Oh.
Maestro. So,
Okay,
I mean, it's still information gathering at the end of the day.
but now you have a C4.
I mean, it's not necessarily the same level of plant denial unless you're going to be positioning that below, looking over that nitro cell that you're talking about. But I mean, hey, look, we'll see what Crafty can do with it here. Like you said, it's a very impactful operator, especially on this third floor bomb site. It's going to enable a lot in terms of external play if they look for it. And already you can see Crafty gearing up to set those cameras outside, or I mean, hell, he might even be playing the mind games here a little bit, setting up to, give the impression that they are going for a sport peak. But I mean, the setup already is screaming a very aggressive one with the reinforcements that they do have.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at their lineup, you can tell it's going to be aggressive. They've got Drone Denial, they've got Valkyrie. So, well, oh, okay. I was wondering why Crafty and Oni were just staring at each other in front of a window. He's throwing the cam out before he went and castled it. So they're trying to facilitate a bit of a cigar hold. It'll probably be Dylan playing there. Usually you see a smoke, but Dylan's the next best thing. He's got the shotgun in the SMG-11. He can play either just around the corner or inside the humidor. He's got the castle barricade as well as Oni placed inside of Piano itself to help him. He's got the drone denial while the rest of his team kind of plays back over towards the site. And I wouldn't doubt if Crafty is kind of roaming down below, playing for that C4 as kind of their only form of plant denial right now is just having 3 C4s. Now we're going to be using the Hibana to try and get open those hatches. Thanks to her buff, she only needs to expend 4 total charges, so she's still got 14 left in her pocket, and she'll start to open the red wall. Sure, opening the red wall is all well and good, but if you have to worry about this crossfire, not only from inside of Cigar, but also worry about the man inside of Piano, that's going to be a pretty tough task if you don't clear it, and already he's actually wasted a little bit of his X-Kairos because they got stuck on the ceiling.
And Salt's gonna find a team kill onto Dylan there as
Sick,
well.
Dylan. Why?
Unfortunate. I think that was a spray to the top red stairs from backstock, and unfortunately just cleaned up his teammate. It's a nitro cell. That's the M590 off the board, and I mean that's a big loss to kick things off. But it doesn't matter. It looks like they're gonna be able to find one back. Pryde does go down. Oni from under the castle barricade in Cigar. This lockout of Cigar Shop already paying out for them. Not bad at all to kick things off here. He's looking for more. It's all about the feet at the end of the day. We saw that. He's looking for more. Can he find it? He sees the toes. No!
Oh!
Riz goes down to the same angle. Punished again. How did Team 99 not realize that's where the threat's coming from?
The only way he's able to get another kill off that is if Pryde just had no clue where he was getting shot from. Now, there is another refrag. Salt, the man who team killed Dylan and essentially gave Team 99 that cigar control for free, will eventually get his just desserts. So an even 2-2 trade. But no, Oni is not aware of Cal's position on Nubalk, so he'll just swing out and forfeit the Piano presence as well. Now, Diffuser is still in the clutches of the attack for the most part. You know, it's not directly in their hands, but it's still very recoverable. It's just Sam and Crafty to clutch up. Crafty will get droned while he's trying to push up long bar very sneakily, but Sam is still holding the crossfire from inside of Freezer. We kind of hit a bit of a standstill at the attackers right now are just trying to position themselves for this execute and play for their trades as they have the man advantage. Both Sam and whoever that was in Cigar will both miss shots on each other, but they were more just words of warning than an actual engagement. C4 unfortunately will be whiffed, but Crafty gets a kill as Sam deals a lot of damage to the player inside of Piano, but can't connect. Cal will trade him out, and it's just Crafty. He does find the sledge, though, and it's just Cal. He runs out of ammo. Deagle out. He's 1 HP, but Cal wins the fight, and the Nomad with a 3K will clutch up the round for Team 99.
Cal went huge in that round. You could just see him on the kill feed, sprinting to the other side of backstock, trying to line up that shot, and that was a messy round, to say the very least. Team 99, they lost 2 key frags. The Hibana was one of the frags that went down in Cigar Shop to Oni under the bottom of the barricade. These are advantages that Team 99 shouldn't be giving up at this stage in the game. We're going to be heading back up to the 3rd floor. Pryde obviously understanding what went wrong. Just, mostly the team kill would be a big part of what went wrong for Pryde.
How do you team kill there? Like,
Well, no, so Assault was in backstock. He was looking through the top red, and for some reason, Dylan decided to swing out at the same time that the spray was coming through.
but it's almost like, if you have a guy in Humidor, why are you peeking top red? Like, in the first place. Like, that was definitely odd. Giving away that cigar control for free, like we said, was definitely a big game changer for Team 99. That and the fact that Cal just kind of walked in and killed 3 people. Oni not expecting them to have already pushed into New Balk, as well as Sam whiffing on the sledge through the open wall. Had his back, couldn't connect with it. If he was able to just kill that guy, then it's a 1v1 for Crafty, and Crafty can play his positioning a hell of a lot better. So a lot of very, very little mistakes for Pryde, just all adding up at the end to give him the round loss.
I mean, isn't that the way it goes? If he was just able to kill that guy, it would have been a totally different round. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not the way it played out. Salt shoots Dylan in the back of the head, gets killed himself. Odie sniffs some feet and finds the frags off the back of it. So, I mean, you've got to hope that Team 99 have realized that's what went wrong in that push, because I don't know how you lose one player and then another one immediately after the same angle. Not to mention it was the Hibana as well. There's definitely already been some questionable stuff showing, and if that stuff continues here for Team 99, it could enable Pryde to take this map away. Kick things off, though. It's Braction to find the kill on Oni. He's not going to be able to punish the same way he did this time. Perfect rappel angle there into Cigar Lounge. Shuts down the castle. No feet shots coming through. That's a much better approach from Team 99 to kick things off already.
Yeah, Sam is going to try and reposition himself and take up that feet position. So all is not lost so far for that piano hold, and it seems like Team 99 might just be ignoring him. Hopefully, they at least drone that out later and don't get caught out by it. Salt actually has he's actually got a Mozzie drone. He'll start to kind of hot drone his team. Dylan, unfortunately, they're just kind of wasting that C4, but dude, I really thought Dylan just got that kill, and I was about to scream, but it was actually Sam swinging around to, I believe, the open castle barricade on Cigar. Sorry, no, it's not open. It was actually the breach that Sam was able to get that kill through. So it's a 1-for-1, and honestly, losing a castle for a Zofia, I would take that trade.
Yeah, 100%, and as they are just pushing in deeper. Braction looking for the angle. He does get the punish. Sam goes down, and all of a sudden, man count back in favor of Team 99. Dylan holding back where he was last time. This time, though, it's not going to be Salt to shoot him in the back of the head. It's going to be Dylan to shoot down Braction. Unfortunately, right, is there to capitalize, and it's the retrade out once again. And Pryde back in a very, very similar situation to where they've been previously, though. This time, Salt is alive. Can they look to do something? That's the big question.
Crafty gets a little bit aggressive over towards Pixel, and will get shot in his back as he retreats. It's just him and Salt, the 2 newest pickups, the ex-synthetic players. Clutch up in a 2 versus 3. Now, it's not undoable. There's 40 seconds left, and they've still got 1 C4 in pocket, and Salt, I don't believe, has been droned out. Crafty gets a kill. There's another one for Salt, and all of a sudden, it's just Riot as the rest of his team has fallen apart. He tries to get the shots on the player inside of Freezer, but he whiffs, and now they know exactly where he is. He's still stuck in Cigar. No diffuser control for the time being, and only 20 seconds left, and he'll decide he needs to go for frags. He sees Crafty, but as he looks away, the Valkyrie repeaks, and Pryde take round number 3.
Yeah, just playing their angles, playing the time. Pryde, they are bringing it to a whole new level here. Coming into Cafe, the last time we saw them on this map, it was a very, very one-sided affair. It was Team 99 just absolutely crushing them. So definitely indicating that, you know, they were saving some strats coming into the semi-final. They had some confidence that they would make it all the way through, and we are going to head back downstairs to Kitchen. It was the first bomb site that did go the way of Pryde. They could look at to push it to at least 3 rounds in the half, but there we go. Dylan, he's bringing the frost once again. No surprises whatsoever that 6-pick comes through. I mean, look, hey, there's definitely a lot of tension in the air.
Yeah, this, I think, too, the fact that Pryde is up 2-1 is just further evidence that they are, in fact, not trolling like they were in their last game against Team 99. We're going to go back down to Kitchen, where Pryde were extremely successful thanks to that Frost play and Team 99 not having the right tools for the job, which, I mean, again, they don't have a dedicated soft breacher. Now, granted, they have brought more breaching charge. Oh, no, never mind. I didn't see they have a sledge. They do have a sledge. They do have a dedicated soft breacher.
I didn't see it.
So they have way more than enough. They have sledge. They have 6 breaching charges. and they can save that explosive utility for the stuff on site, like the castle barricades, the banshees, all that good stuff. Now, I will say, especially with that bar defense, a lot of that was down to Sam being able to retake in the piano, kill that guy, and Dylan not being team killed by Salt. Dylan wasted so much time and got a pick, as did I believe who was that? Sam on the Jaeger. Great job to both of them, and by then, I mean, the damage was done. The Mozzie, perfect drone denial. Salt was left undroned, and he was able to spring into action. So Kitchen, I would imagine, is going to go slightly differently, because this time, as you can see, Pryde are actually dedicating themselves to a bit of a roam. That roam will actually bear fruit. Not only do you get the first pick, but you get the first pick on the sledge.
Yeah, I mean, the huge damage already being done. It means that they have to revert back to relying on Sophia and Ash. And just the kills have not been coming through for Team 99 so far. I mean, in the first 2 rounds, it was the Carl show. That was literally the only way you can describe it. Now coming to this, the rest of the team, they have been found a little bit wanting. Vertical play, though, was heavily disrupted by Sam on that roam. He was able to get in behind the attackers as they dropped into freezer. So this is going to be important. Can they control the stairs? Can they control the verticality? At the moment, Bright is on white stairs, drone going down. Can they stop that same event from repeating itself here? But you look at the control that Pryde already has. They've got a lot of bases covered. They've got a lot of very solid fraggers in position to capitalize if push does come. So this could get very, very scary at the moment. They are going to use that secondary hard breach gadget to open up the hatch into freezer here. And this is exactly where things went horribly wrong last time, bro.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, they used all of their ranged explosives on the vertical destruction, and it looks like they're going to do that again. They've still got 1 breaching charge and 1 impact in the pocket of Bry. Hopefully that impact is going to be allocated to a castle barricade, because last time they got stuck in kitchen and had to wait out the entire fuse timer, which is a, if you're not familiar with Hibana, is a pretty damn long time. That's a good, what, like 5-6 seconds? Something like that? Maybe even longer? And the fact that you don't have that sledge, the big question on my mind is how effective are these breaching charges going to be? And so far, not very. They haven't gotten a single pick, not even damage off on the anchors in sight. Again, they're perfectly content to just sit there and wait, and and Team 99 doesn't have enough of their soft destruction to make more holes, dislodge the anchor's current positions, and still have enough to destroy those bulletproof gadgets. There is only 30 seconds left, and Team 99 still have not found a response to that earlier kill, and they haven't even made their way down to the first floor. They're all still upstairs. They're going to try their gambit on that freezer drop, but Sam takes down 1, pushing down White for the crossfire in the freezer. Riz is at very low HP. Riot will finally get a response onto Oni, but it might be too little too late as they're dropping right into fire. Crafty gets a double kill on those dropping players, and Dylan rounds things out, and Pryde yet again take round number 4 as Team 99 fumble.
I mean, you just look at the angles, the bases that Pryde were covering as we head into the second half of the round. They had every single angle they needed to lock down and ready to go. Yes, they'd destroyed the castle barricade and out of freezer, so they could have gone for the funnel, but you had Sam sitting Harry Potter bottom white stairs. You had players in the bomb site waiting for that inevitable drop, and as soon as Sam swung, found that initial kill onto Bry as he pushed down the stairs, it all came apart. I mean, just I don't know whether it's hesitation, I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence, I don't know what it is that is going wrong here for Team 99, but the way they're approaching these bomb sites, the way they're approaching these attacks, it's just disjointed, it's chaotic. The amount of time we saw them waste in that last round just trying to sniff out an angle, trying to find some damage onto a defender, and they couldn't do that. I mean, look, hey, I was backing Team 99 to win this, but I'm not so confident in my prediction anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's not just the way that Team 99 have been approaching the kitchen attack in particular, because I think that would have gone a lot better if they had Braction, but the fact that Braction was first picked, yet again, they just didn't have enough soft destruction. Their vertical play did quite literally nothing. Even when after they did all their vertical stuff and they opened the hatch and tried going for the drop, there were people right next to the freezer waiting for them. So something has to fundamentally change in the way Team 99 take that bomb site, but luckily for them, it won't be played again this half because we've only got 2 rounds left, and Pryde just won it. They'll try reading. This is not a site that they have gone to yet. This is, in fact, the last site in the standard rotation that they'll have to play, and they're going to be going for both a top floor extension as well as a horizontal. They've got Sam, Salt, and Dylan, 3 people upstairs, a Pulse all the way in train, and Crafty as really the only man on site, and even then, never mind, he's grouped up with Pulse to try and get the C4 kill in the piano.
I mean, they're already, you only would have seen 2 of them rappelling up the side of the building, so they have that information. Not to mention the sledgehammer going off. The first time, in fact, we've seen this map that the sledgehammer has been used to open those roof
finally
hatches.
Effective.
Reaching around does go in as they are trying to catch out anyone. We'll destroy the Banshee, I believe it was, on Cocktail Balcony as well. Just clearing out as much as possible before they go for that top-down clear. They see the shields. They see the positioning. Dylan there in back stock on the smoke. I believe it's the first time we've seen him on the smoke as well. He's been largely on mute or frost at this stage so far. So it'd be interesting to see what they can do. Only goes for the first Nitro cell. 2 have been used already and nothing really found yet. So already Team 99, it's a better start than we've seen from the last couple of rounds.
Of course, there is still one. Salt has one in his pocket, though he's not playing below. So if he does get a C4, he'll have to chuck it. He'll likely be in the line of fire as he does, so it's a bit of a dangerous prospect. But the kill potential is still there. The threat is still looming over the attackers. I'll start to open a little bit of that freezer wall, but you've still got holes from below being played by Crafty, as well as a player inside of freezer. That's the smoke of Dylan, who's just going to start burning his gas canisters and delaying this push more and more. The wall isn't actually open. It's just a sight line. They can't walk through it. That's unfortunate. They'll start to try and burn these ADSs, but they just cannot get rid of this shield. Unfortunately for Sam, he takes a little bit too aggressive of a stance, as now the smoke, feeling pressured, will send out his last toxic gas canister, but Braction now has full control of this long bar. Dylan is starting to feel the heat. He's stuck behind this shield, and right now, he's just trying to take someone down with him because he will die. But Salt there we go. That's the C4 kill we needed. He'll make up for the 2 misses earlier by getting a double. Down go both Riot and Braction, though finally, the smoke is disposed of. 3v3, but only 30 seconds going into the last seconds of this round.
The amount of time wasted by Solo and Cocktail, he then rotates down, gets the Nitro kill anyway. They're pushing further and further. Carl, again, will extend that man advantage back to 3-2. But with 17 seconds left, Team 99 have to force something here. They have to get on the bomb site. Things are looking a bit dire, and as they push even further in, they go for the plant. Pryde goes down to Salt, back to a 2-2. Salt with a triple kill, looking for more. What can they do here? There's 4 seconds left. Riz has to stick it out.
What? There's no
Swinging
cover!
in, Salt shuts it down. A quad! And Oni will find the final kill. Carl did get the trade, denied the ace, but yet another round going in the favor of Pryde, and a horrendous way to end that round for Team 99.
Wow, so that top floor clear took so much time and so much utility. Brilliantly played by the side of Pryde, and they knew exactly when to fall off. Sam dies inside of pallets, Dylan stays, the rest of the defenders book it because Salt knows he can play for that C4 and his pulse is still alive, and look at that. He rotates downstairs, gets 2 kills. So Dylan doesn't really even need to do anything. He trades out Dylan with that double C4. So we're back to a 3-on-3, but there's no time on the board for the attack. They don't have a sledge. They don't have enough time to do any kind of vertical destruction. They just have to go for the push. The last 2 defenders, I mean, sure, it's a 3v2, but they're ready and waiting. Salt is able to get one of the kills on the reading door, and Cal, expecting a flank that just didn't come, isn't watching the planter. Easy swing for Salt. Even then, like, that could have been a double kill for Cal. It could have, obviously, hypothetically, he could have still lost the fight. But the fact that he just was not looking made it free. Defenders didn't even have to fight for the plant denial. They just swung it and won. Now, sure, Cal was able to get 1, but he couldn't connect with the second. I do have to say the pulse swinging right behind the Melusi did make me really nervous. I thought they were going to get collided. But Crafty was able to hit his shots with the UMP in the end. And Pryde have now extended their lead 4-1. This is essentially now Team 99's last chance to try and stay in this map. It'll be a bar attack, the only site that Team 99 has won, but Pryde have definitely switched up their strategy.
I mean, it's just been a wild ride so far. This has got to be salt in the wound. We see the Maestro coming out, we see the Clash coming out.
I get
this
it.
This is just going to be a brutal. I mean, look,
because Pryde has a guy named Salt.
Like, you look at it, you look at his kills. Like, yeah, 5, 1, and 3. He's had a really good match. He got 4 of those 5 kills in the last round.
Yeah,
so,
he did.
I think he's just playing the system here at the moment. You can see the setup, Dylan setting in Pixel, Salt on the backside, tucked into the corner in White Corridor. They're going to be looking to use Clash as Clash is end up around the shield. You look to be an absolute nuisance, but I mean, a 4-2 split on your own map pick, even if you are starting off in attack, and potentially a 5-1 split if this one goes the way of Pryde as well. This is going to be disastrous. Riot to kick things off. Breaching around from below was nerfed, obviously, so not as much damage as it could have done. Sam is going to be tagged to start things off, and it's all about the verticality play from below. Make the ground impossible to hold up on that cocktail balcony, and from there, you can look to transition. But at the moment, it has been Pryde winning their gunfights more often than not.
Yeah, and against Team 99, who we touted as a way more aggressive team, a way more, hey, we're going to walk in and hit our shot squad, Pryde have met them blow for blow pretty much this entire map. Now, sure, the rounds have, for the most part, you know, with the exception of that previous kitchen defense, have, for the most part, been pretty close. But Pryde have always just kind of been one step ahead. And now they've got this clash, and if Team 99 aren't on top of their utility usage, they're going to go down, and wow, Salt is going to absolutely destroy Braction on that Skylight Peak. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's traded out, but at this point, 2 minutes are down. You've lost your Sledge, who, on the site, he's not that important, but he can take out the castles. You've also lost any nade potential, and you haven't killed a single person actually inside of Cocktail, despite the destruction being below and choreographing a Cocktail push. So far, Pryde still heavily in this advantage. There is someone Palace. There's 2 people trying to push this clash with support from a repeller outside the window as Riot gets the first kill on Oni. That's one of those supporting players. 2 kills for Riot, but 2 kills for Sam. They answer back. Dylan is still alive, but it's right now a 1v1. It's Sam versus Cal, and Sam just lines them all up. A 4K for the Jaeger, sitting behind the same spot in Cocktail. Pryde take an extremely dominant 5-1 half.
I mean, the clash, they didn't have anything to deal with it. Literally just kept them funneling up White Stairs, and then Sam said, yeah, I'll take this, and guns down all 4 of them as they try and get even remotely close. No one got onto the bomb site there from the attack in that round. It's a 5-1 split going into the half. I mean, Carl came into the start of this map. He found 6 frags in the first 2 rounds. He's found 2 since that point and didn't get a damn thing in that last one, I don't believe. But, I mean, something huge has to come out here from Team 99. We know they did very well on their defense the last time they played Cafe, but with 2 rounds to work with, 2 rounds that they can afford to, well, 1 round they can afford to lose, and then if they lose another one, they're out of this first map. But there's not a hell of a lot of room for mistakes here. And scarily enough, 1 player on this side for Team 99. Riz has 1 frag. Pryde doesn't have a damn thing to his name. This is 3 versus 5 at the moment. Pryde and Riz really need to step up.
Interested to see how Team 99 plays their defense. Pryde, we saw, really, they only ran the Valkyrie, like, twice? Something like that?
No, they only went once, and it was on a 3rd floor hold.
Oh, they 6
Oh, no, sorry, twice. It was twice. Yeah, it was.
It was twice? Okay. So they only ran her twice. And it was both on the more upstairs bomb sites.
Yeah, it was both on the 3rd floor. They won one, they lost one with it.
Yeah. Braction will pick her up, but he'll run it on Kitchen. It's already a bit of a difference. They've also put a little bit more emphasis on the wall denial. They've got Rizzer on the Kaid to try and counter out Crafty on the Thermite. So even then, different philosophies. Team 99 were bringing the Hibana, better fragger, hell of a lot more flexible. Pryde want to bring the Thermite, which Crafty is no slouch when it comes to fragging on the Thermite, but also much larger holes. This is kind of going to choreograph, hey, we're probably going to be taking that bakery wall.
At the moment, they're gearing up. Lots of players outside Pillar looking to push in towards Reading, which is where Bry is. Does have Riot and support as well. Pryde already gearing up a much more aggressive start to the round. They're positioning themselves to go for that execute. Bry could be caught looking the wrong way, but it's Sam to go down first. The long-range spray from Riot, if I'm correct there. There's still going to be potential for that pickup to happen. Now it's on Oni to try and give some cover so they can look for that pickup at the moment. So many bases now to cover. Salt in position as well. Spotted, but the drop down the hatch, and Sam has to go for the withstand here. this is already big resources being committed by Pryde to no real avail. So Team 99 definitely feeling a little bit more comfortable here. Carl again on the roam, once again through Fireplace. It has been the name of the game for Malusi so far in this map, Pro. Could look to do some real damage. Salt looking the wrong way. Oh, it does hear the player drop through hatch. They have that information. They know the hatch is open. But it's whether they can find anything off the back of that.
It was kind of interesting how Pryde have been playing Malusi as sort of more of a lurker and sometimes even as an anchor, while Team 99 have her very extended off of the site, and she's going to take a lot of damage. In fact, almost as much as Sam did, but Braction from below, there's a C4 kill onto Oni. Down goes your sledge, and again, an extremely influential pick. You've just cut down most of the soft destruction capability of this attack, as well as nades. That is a huge pick for the Valkyrie. Can Pryde adjust? We saw Team 99 unfortunately could not. This is Pryde's turn to prove that they are better on this kitchen attack, but it's not going so well, as now Bry will finish off what little was left of Sam.
Finds the kill, looks for another, is going to go toe-to-toe, but can't win it out against that fragmite of Crafty. As they are going to look to start opening things up here. Freezer wall now being pressured with that exothermic. Dylan downstairs is a little bit lower, has been a clutch master for the team in the last couple of game days. As they are looking to get in, it's 3 versus 4, so 99 still has that big advantage. They're looking to get themselves in. Salt into the ball. Salt! Two! He's going to look to open things up wide for his team, but does get gunned down by the TCSG of Riz. 2 versus 1, effectively. Crafty on the ground, so it's all on Dylan here. No health left. Nitro cell tossed. Can they do it? Dylan sticks it out. Will pull back, trying to get some cover, trying to do anything. Flash goes in. Riz does confirm the kill as the bleed out does happen. Does he know there's a player close right? Doesn't matter.
Hell?
It's Carl to find the final. That's more in line with what we expected out of Team 99.
Bomb diffuser disabled by defenders.
That was weird.
Defender mission successful.
The Nomad had no time, so she was just sticking defuse in the Malusi. They just, like, don't C4 her and let her get the plant down. And then the Kate hugs the corn. That was, alright, that was a weird overtime, or post-round, post-plant kind of situation, but Team 99 still won, so what the hell. Pryde, their soft destruction got caught out, and their transition down onto the execute fell real flat. It came, I think, a lot closer than I thought it would be with a 1v2 for Dylan, but still no time means that Dylan had to stick the plant, and he did not have enough time to get away after putting it down. Combined with the fact that Crafty was on the floor, he couldn't really help him all that much. So great job to Team 99. They'll stop the bleeding for now, at least, after losing 4 rounds in a row. Maybe this is the start of a comeback, but we'll see. I don't think that's going to be enough to stop Pryde's momentum.
A couple of questionable decisions made in that round. I mean, Sam was forced to use the withstand. There were players in position, so they could have gone for pickup. Obviously, that was not the call that was made. Coming into this already, you see the reactionary play starting to happen. Salt will bring the IQ, and given that the setup we're seeing coming out of Team 99, this could be a pretty forward-thinking setup. They're looking for those cameras. They're looking for those electro cores. Could look to do a little bit of work early on. But the aggression, just the sheer aggression coming out of Team 99. Question is, can Pryde match it? And off the last round is any indication, probably not is the answer.
Well, we'll have to see. Of course, still bringing that one hard breacher on a bar attack, especially with the positions that you see Team 99 playing. Really, the only use they're going to have for him is probably going to be on that red wall. I don't imagine they'll be breaching anything else anytime soon, especially because that electroclaw placed on the bathroom wall, and you're typically not going to be thermiting the bathroom wall. We also see another adjustment. We've got IQ to counter the Valkyrie from Salt. No more Ash, but he's still got a G8, so she is still way more than a competent entry, and he can find those Valk cams. And maybe that's kind of what tripped Pryde up. Maybe it was the abundant amount of intel that Team 99 had at their disposal to just meet Pryde at every avenue they tried to aggress upon. But as Pryde start to clear this middle floor, they'll soon come into contention with that Valkyrie herself.
Well, I mean, the Pryde is on the hunt. They're looking for whatever they can on the second floor. Sam's ready and waiting, but can't confirm the kill. Braxton will just eke out with his life. Can he find anything off the back of it? Crafty tagged as well. Just a bit of a spray. And Braxton somehow escapes that and will get himself out as they look to pressure elsewhere. Crafty goes down. That's the hard breach now gone. Right with the 416 confirms that kill. And I mean, now they're going to have to funnel through.
I cannot believe Braxton got away from that. You really have to hit those, Sam. And Riot's going to get another kill onto the IQ of Salt. A nade goes in, but it will only down Cal. It won't actually kill him. So no refrag just yet for Pryde. They're still trailing in a 3v5 man disadvantage. Now, Oni will try and even things out. He takes out Brian. The cage still isn't recovered, but as he sprints up on top of the bar, that exposes him to the angle being held by Braxton. He'll finally be traded off, but now it's just Dylan. 1 versus 2, but now effectively a 1 versus 1. It's just him and Rizzer. He does not have the diffuser, but Rizzer will pick up Cal. At least, no? Never mind, I forgot he's actually inside a bathroom.
Freezer, yeah.
I thought he walked back into freezer. So no, it's still a 1v1 with just Rizzer up. If Dylan can find the angle, he will! He takes the head off of him, and Cal never recovered, bleeds out from the nade from Oni. A 1v3 for the Nomad. I mean, that's what we know Dylan is perfectly capable of, and he will display it on full. Pryde rip the round away and confirm map point.
Look, there's one reason and one reason only that Dylan wins that. It's because he finds himself in the 1vx situation so many times in these matches when he plays for Pryde that he now knows how to do it. And he pulls it out of the bag perfectly at the end, pushes Pryde to map point here on Team 99's pick. The progression, the improvements coming out of this Pryde roster have been leaps and bounds coming into the end of the season. They are looking to close out this series, push themselves into the grand finals, and they're doing a solid job of it at the moment. We are going to be heading back up to the third floor. The real question that everyone is hanging on is, what is Team 99 doing? When are they going to show up? When are they going to start to contest? Because it's really been Riot, Braxton, and Carl that have been doing all the legwork. Riz and Bry have been there a little bit, but they're just not stepping up, playing to the caliber that we know these guys can play at.
Yeah, I think, obviously when someone clutches up like that, it's great, it's cool, but you can't just rely on that every time. Pryde are going to have to make some kind of adjustment to account for it, but Team 99, they don't have that Valkyrie anymore, so I'm wondering how that's going to affect their strategy. They're not going to have as much free intel. I'm not sure if they'll still have Braxton below, but that additional body on site, I mean, might help, especially because Braxton was just 1 HP when he died inside of Cocktail and didn't get a C4 kill from below either, so that utility was kind of left unused. He's okay.
No,
He's
surely
going
not.
for this one.
This C4 has appeared so many times throughout this season of SCS, and it has been brutal.
He's gonna get
oh my lord!
He
that was
didn't
so
get it.
close.
It was shot out of the air.
That could have been disastrous. Losing an IQ early would have been absolutely brutal. But Team 99, they just miss out. Braxton not quite connecting the way he needed to, and that's utility off the board. No more nitro cell. They're gonna have to rely on gunplay. Oh, okay. Looking at that, Sam sitting at top red. He's gonna be tagged up a little bit. Has been spotted. So they. Okay, Sam, that's not where you're meant to be standing, man.
I don't know, dude. The fact that people still just walk into electrified walls astounds me. With no care in the world. Salt will start things off well for his team, though, as they're just inside. They're already in Cocktail. He'll get a first kill onto Bry. Down goes the Maestro, pushing into Freezer to try and stop the smoke as the Zoph, but he'll fall. 2 kills the way of the defense to even us up as Oni finds Cal, but the plant has not gone down. It was denied. Diffuser no longer in their control. Braxton coming out from the red flank will find one, and there's another for the Jaeger as Rizzer has been down and Salt can't find the rest. Riot shuts him down, and Team 99 take round number 9 after a failed rush by Pryde.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it at the end of the last round. You can't just be relying on that clutch factor to close things out. So Pryde don't go for a different attempt there. They go for the rush. And, I mean, look, they got to a 3-3. They were looking to get the plant down, and then Riot showed up, and it was all over. So I mean, look, at least the adaptations are coming through. They're trying to figure out what they need to do, but it's still that situation, backs against the wall. Team 99 need to win the next 3 rounds without dropping a single one. Otherwise, the map's over. We're going to be heading back down to Kitchen, and we are seeing some changes come through already. A Dockerby for Crafty. That's something that we have not seen. And I mean, Keg was asking about, do we see those unexpected picks on the attack? And we are going to see it on the defense, but now it's going to be the attack. It's going to be a Lion, in fact, making its way through. They are putting some real respect towards these roamers of Team 99.
And defuse as many bombs as they can.
I kind of wanted to see what Crafty would do on a Dokkaebi, but I'll settle for a Lion. You know what's really interesting? They're going to be attacking Kitchen, right?
Yep.
But the Lion, who they subbed in for Thermite, is not running the Hard Breach gadget.
Oh boy.
They have no Hard Breach on a Kitchen attack. Maybe. Okay. The only justification I have for
10
this
seconds left.
is that they're going to go for another white freezer push, and they're banking on the open freezer hatch, which is open.
Yeah.
So I guess you don't really need it.
Attackers' objective is
It's
to
still
locate
kind of like, I think, a better safe than sorry kind of measure, but hey, it works out. They're not going to need it. If they have to, for some reason, readjust over to Bakery, it'll probably hurt, but if they just stick to this white push, it should be fine.
Okay, no, they're just going straight in, it seems, straight in through
Okay.
Whiskey. They're looking to get themselves in, pushing further. E1D comes out, but Riz finds the opener. Salt goes down. They're just funneling through. Braction with the older finds one before being traded out. Another hose both ways, and there's a player in Freezer. Crafty's in a bit of trouble. The Banshee's going off. I don't know what's going on. Only finds Pryde. It's a 3 versus 3 here, Crow. This is some very aggressive upfront plays, but Riot and Carl are there. 2 more down. Dylan's left
It's
alone.
Dylan.
Can he do it again?
You know, I wouldn't put it past him. He'll spot the Jaeger. He can't hit the head just yet. Trying to crouch in. He'll find 1 kill, but as he vaults over, he's caught out from the backside on that hop-up angle by Rizzer. And Team 99 shut down the 2nd rush in a row. And you know, that really could have worked. It really could have. If they didn't sprint out of Maestro. Or
I mean,
if they
think
just
Braction went
watched
for the
Freezer.
reload halfway through, didn't realize they were all going to funnel in, so he could have found more. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they could have won it if
Oh,
they
it's-
hit their shots, if they had that information. There's any number of things that could have changed the outcome of that round. But I mean, it's another round closer for Team 99. They're closing that gap. We could still see overtime here on Cafe.
Yeah, Pryde have now just kind of thrown 2 rounds, and I don't expect they'll do it again. They're going to not take a hard breacher for the 2nd time, but instead of a Lion, they'll keep the Ash and have Crafty pick up the IQ. So, a lot more frag potential here because you've kept that Ash entry. You've got plenty of soft breach at this point. I mean, you have 9 breach charges and a sledge. I mean, how much more could you reasonably ask for? The real question, though, is whether or not they'll actually be able to use that. Last time we saw a reading defense, it was from Pryde themselves, and they held onto this top floor for like 2 minutes. If Team 99 can do something similar, then that too will just kind of shut down all this utility from Pryde, and it'll just kind of go to waste.
Well, I mean, this is them reading into the bomb site. They know it's not 3rd floor. They know it's not Kitchen, so it's going to have to be 2nd floor. So I think they're just anticipating that they can play the vertical game, clear out anyone from meaningful positions, then drop down into pillar and go for the plant through into reading. But I mean, talk about hedging your bets. Pryde, they've put all their eggs in one basket. We've seen a couple of times now where they've tried this and it really hasn't worked. And is that what I saw? I think. No, I must be wrong. No, okay, yeah, it is the 416. I thought for a second Riot had brought the M870 and Chief was going to start going off on Twitter, but
Oh, God, no, please.
I mean, look, you're forcing into a bomb site where there's 2 M590s, not just a smoke, but a mute as well. There's 3 nitro cells. I think Pryde, they're taking these unnecessary risks because, we don't need hard breach. We can just funnel in once we've cleared out the 3rd floor. But that's anticipating that there's not going to be anyone on the 3rd floor, not anyone trying to counter on that, the verticality of this game. With 3 nitro cells on the board, that's talk about hedging your bets. But I mean, the way it's looking like we're heading towards overtime because Pryde are taking these unnecessary risks.
Yeah, it's Pryde are tossing. They're just tossing. We'll see if they, I think they've come back down to earth, though. They're no longer playing like crackheads, and they're slowing down, and they're like, all right, guys, we tried rushes. We tried them twice in a row, and it didn't work. I think, you know, that might be a sign. So let's start to take through long bar. Salt being hot droned in. There is a player inside a bathroom, but there's also someone palace he's got to worry about, and he just swings Rizzer, and that's not a good idea. What did you expect was going to happen? Salt is now dead. You've lost with 30 or breaching charges. You've lost to both, or all 3 of the Ash charges as well. And the smoke is still in Pixel with a 90-degree shotgun angle. Compounded by the C4 from Cal. Down goes Oni. No more Sledge. So almost all of your soft destruction, at least your most efficient soft destruction, is now gone. Sophia's trying to clear in as well. Crafty will finally get a pick for his team as Pryde goes down, but still inside a bathroom is Riz, and he'll take the head off of Sam as he turns around and is just completely unaware of that angle. Crafty will also take damage from the guy in bathroom. Just clear him out. Crafty is pushing Whitehall with a guy in bathroom. All right, finally he's going to turn around. The smoke will win that fight. Yep, I called it. Triple kill for Riz, as he just has not moved. Now it's just Dylan in a 1 versus 4. Does he also lose? No, he does not. He shuts down Rizzer. 3 kills is all the smoke will get, but Dylan still has only 30 seconds to clutch a 1v3.
Like, I'm just anticipating comms. They're like, so Salt pushes in. Oh, I died. There's a smoke in washroom. Okay, cool. And then we see Sam push up towards Cocktail. Wait, what? How did I die? Oh, that's right. There's a smoke in washroom that we didn't bother figuring out. Crafty then decides it's his turn. He pushes in. Oh, don't worry. I got this fight. I'm low already, but I can take it. No. That's 3 players who died to a smoke. And 2 of them were, you know, sub a quarter health. And Braxton just closes it out there with a kill. Team 99 are now 1 round away from overtime. I can't just put this down to risk now. This is not risky play that Pryde is going for. They're not thinking. They are not thinking at the moment. They have lost the last 3 rounds in a row. Their brains have switched off. They have reverted back to rank stars, which, I mean, you would have expected out of Team 99 considering it's in 2 of their players' names. But they're just not thinking. And now they're looking at bringing a Thermite and a Maverick. It feels like they're now trying to overcompensate.
Yeah, that was, yeah, like you said, it's no longer, that round was not down to risk taking. That round was just kind of dumb. They all just all died to the guy in bathroom. With 1 HP! He had 1 HP! That whole time. Alright, Pryde. You got one more chance. You can lock this out in a 7-5. Or we can go to OT. And we will have a 10-2 total scoreline for the defense. And, well, Blue Panda, take a wild guess as to what side Team 99 starts on.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, yeah, no surprises there whatsoever. They're going to be kicking things off hard and fast. And, look, I don't know how you take a 5-1 half and then throw it away that significantly, but it somehow happened here. They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They need to stop making these mistakes. I'm still not sure about bringing both a Thermite and a Maverick here on the 3rd floor. I think the Thermite would have been fine on its own. They could have brought something else there. We'll see. There's yeah, like anything. Like I don't know what the answer is here for Team Pryde right now at the moment. They have 1 round to deny overtime. The way they have been playing has been, the only way I can describe it is balls to the wall, and even then it's, you know, blindfolded balls to the wall, because the plays they're making are just not heads up plays. They're just not thinking at all. And now Oni is on hatch duty. Why? Why is Oni on hatch duty?
Ah, so that was the plan with the Maverick. It's all so clear now. Oh yeah, like you said, they've been playing it's like they've been playing balls to the wall, but as they put their balls to the wall, they just have someone fucking curb stomp it. That's how they've been playing. It has not been great. They've been taking a lot of risks, and they haven't been working out. Now, they did win bar, right? They won a bar attack when they actually played a bar attack. The loss they have is because they run. That is true. It was a clutch. But what matters is they won it. Sam is now... Okay, Sam has the AUG with an ACOG. I don't like that, but if he's nuts with it, then I can't fault him for it. We're already a minute 30 down. Pryde do have full control of Piano, and there is no one playing Pixel, and Crafty starts things off well. Down goes Cal, the top fragger for the team, and the Malusi. That's a C4 now dead, as well as one of those all-important freezer players. They have the opening pick. Will Pryde throw away that advantage?
We'll have to wait and see. Riz is in backstock. Oni's being taken low. Another toxic canister out as they are just trying to deny here. There's so much that can go wrong after this. Yes, there's a man advantage there, but you look at Oni already tagged low. There is a player in washroom. As soon as he opens this up, surely he's going to start to be punished. Toxic canister has to go out. No, that's right. He's in freezer. So they are just going to give it washroom for free. But again, there's no one in there. So really, what advantages are you gaining off the back of this? Braxton still holding that angle, still watching, still covering their bases. Flash, team flash onto Oni there as well. Again, it just feels like they're panicking here a little.
I think they're probably pressured by the time at this point. I mean, it's 30 seconds. They only have one site pick, and
Oni gets himself.
That's unfortunate. Now, Sam does refrag it onto Braxton after Oni decided that the pressure was just too much for him to handle, and he had to end it all, but Bry will even things out with a kill on a Dylan. But Crafty, he's going to try planting. Where's the support from his team? There's one in bathroom, but he's cut down, and it's just Salt and Crafty. The plant will be confirmed. Salt gets one kill, but the planter dies, and so does he. Team 99 take round number 12. They force overtime, and on a 10-2 defender-flavored split, Team 99 start defense, and Pryde have to be sweating.
So let's run it back. The last round was Team 99. The round before that was Team 99. The round before that was Team 99, and the round before that was Team 99. The only round that Pryde won on their attacking half was Dylan clutching up big in a 1v2 or 1v2.5 situation because one of the players is on the ground. You said yourself, you cannot be relying on that level of play every single round, and they can't. They just have not been able to rely on their clutch capacity, their 1vx play, their 2vx play, because it just has not been working. We're now going into overtime. Like you said, Team 99 kick off overtime on defense. In my mind, at the very least, this is the beginning of the end. I don't know if Pryde have, one, the stamina, or two, the mental fortitude to bring it back after such a significant deficit. They're going to be playing attack, and they have not been going well. Then, when they eventually get the chance to switch onto the defense, I don't know if they're going to be able to bring it together enough to be able to competently take those rounds.
Yeah, and you know, it was actually a little bit interesting. I was just looking back on my notes. We had two perfectly mirrored halves.
Yep, 5-1, 5-1.
Well, not just score, but in terms of score order and site selection. It was Pryde starting on the defense, win kitchen, lose bar, win bar kitchen, reading bar. Team 99 switches to defense, win kitchen, lose bar, win bar kitchen, reading bar. Exactly the same. Exactly. So I guess if there's any way that you're going to be throwing a 5-1 lead, it's by losing the exact same sites as your opponent in the same order.
I mean, if nothing else, it makes for an interesting storyline. But speaking of interesting storyline, Bry, the new pickup for Team 99, he's 4-3-11 right now. And as we are getting into the first round of OT, they are just getting themselves in early. Bakery control well and truly established. They've kept Oni on the Maverick, despite the fact that the only kill he got on that operator last round was himself. So hopefully they can do a little bit more work with it this time around. I mean, they've got Bakery control early. They've got a Maverick in position to start things off. And okay, this is a slightly different approach. They are anticipating those vertical angles. They have that information on the second electrical, which they will be able to get and craft. You can then go to work. So this at least indicates to me they're a little bit more hesitant. They're trying to play a little bit more heads up. And from there, they can start to work onto the bomb site. But again, it's that vertical play that could cripple them. Because you see 4 of them are right here by Bakery. One is outside now repelling up, but that's still a lot of presence downstairs.
Yeah, and Cal's floor holes work to stop that freezer push. So, I don't know. I think you're right. This position will definitely hurt them if it's not flushed out. And right now, Dylan is just taking pot shots through the wall.
There's a train in the way, buddy.
Yeah, that's not really going to do anything. And if you hop in, Cal will probably hear it. Cal also has a disgusting angle on the player peeking those Maverick holes. And as Oni goes and tries to get a pick by Prep, he'll get cut down from that above pressure. Excellent first pick for Cal. You knock off nades. You knock off Oni, who has been a pretty damn... Actually, I mean, everyone on Pryde has been a pretty damn good performer. There are no standouts as Crafty will start to try and get this plant down. Is there denial from the defense? Wait, it doesn't even look like they know, but here's the swing from the side. It's actually from above. That Cal gets the planter. Salt as well onto Riot. He'll get one of those refrags, but here's the upstairs presence. Dylan taking the fight. He just can't hit the shots, but he eventually will fell Cal 3v3, and Sam will start trying to resume this plant attempt. He and Bry are both by the carpet hallway, but they can't get the angle because of that little shelving on it. It's a post plant now. Riz is dead. This could be a rare attack win. Nomad charge hit by the Mozzie, but no, Salt can't land the shots. He'll eventually pick up the kill, and the Maestro's back is turned, but no! Again, Salt can't confirm it. Braxton will get one, but luckily Dylan is there to save the day. A lot of potatoes there for Salt, but in the end, Pryde win the attack, and that is a sorely missed opportunity for Team 99.
That should never have happened. That everything was set up perfectly for Team 99. They had the vertical angles, they had the players ready to cover. They just didn't have that information to deny the plant, and then all of a sudden, I mean, Dylan had no right to win that gunfight that he did from mining. Just the whiff spray. Carl, by all rights, should have won that heads-up trade, but no, everything seems to line up in favor of Pryde. They take the win. They then go into the next half. They could somehow pull this out and take it away from Team 99. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it is, I mean, they now in the defensive half. We've seen both teams, like you said, 10-2 defensive splits so far in the map, and they've now taken their one attack round. They could do it. They could steal this away.
Defuse as many bombs as they can.
I really thought going into overtime that Team 99 had the advantage. It was really their game to lose, and it's looking like they might lose it. That was a must-win round for Team 99, and what should have been a shoo-in. And Pryde said, you know what? What if? Hear me out. What if we don't troll? And look what happened. They won the round. I mean, sure, it took them a while to actually clear out Cal after Cal killed both the Maverick and the original planter, but Dylan got the refrag, and after that, sure, the defenders still had carpet presence, but because of where that reinforcement was placed, they couldn't get an angle on the planter. That was perfect positioning from Sam when he tried to get that down. So Pryde are now fully in the advantage. Now, sure, we might see an overtime where, you know, suddenly things swap and it'll become attacker-sided for no reason, and maybe Team 99 tie us up yet again, but until that happens, I'm gonna place the advantage in Pryde's column.
Well, again, it's one of those things we'll have to wait and see. Braxton
spawn peaked.
yeah. Look, hey, they're looking to dish it out after that match earlier this week, and I mean, hey, look, why not? Salt, this is polar opposite to what we saw the last time these two played. I mean, I thought potentially it was just they weren't trying because they knew they were going to look to make it through to the semis, but yeah, I don't think you're wrong at all. It was definitely more a case of they were trolling in the end, and now they're playing for keeps. I think it may have just been a case of, you know, the last couple of rounds did not go their way, and then all of a sudden they've said, actually, guys, we're really so close to throwing this one away. We need to pull ourselves in, and they did that in the last round. Luckily, I think it was probably a little bit more luck to do with, you know, actual thought out, definite plan that they had, but it still came up in terms of Pryde. And now they're going to go into their more comfortable side, go into the defense, and this is where they can look to do the real damage.
We are halfway through the round now. Team 99 have piano control. Closest thing to any kind of pixel presence the defense has is player in bathroom. Riot the rank star will be the first pick on what could be the ultimate round. Salt with that first kill. Down goes one of your star entries. He's on double digits, as well as an important utility operator nowadays with those 3 breaching rounds and a Maestro and a Malusi on the board. A lot of that is now going to fall to Braxton and Bry with the nades and the Zofia lifelines, but no, she's actually out of lifelines, and Braxton only has 1 nade, so if those Malusis and Evil Eyes have not been dealt with, that could be a huge boon for the defense. We're now just at 50 seconds left for Team 99 to make something happen, and that comedically shaped Hibana hole in the wall, well, that's not big enough for you to actually make an entry through. That's really just a sight line. There's also a Banshee in Rizzer's way and a shotgun with his name on it, should that Banshee start to scream. Sam is covering his teammates back from White as well, just in case Braxton comes up, but speaking of, he will get a kill onto Oni, and down goes the Malusi. There is a drop, though, and the Jaeger finds the refrag and can still lord over the White stairs. Dylan is very wary of this push. He's actually got 2 players now supporting him, but Crafty goes down as the Nomad has just walked into sight. Zofia will have very brief control of Cocktail. He's cut down by Sam, and it's now Rizzer trying to get this plant down, and Cal to cover against 3. He can't find the first one. He'll finally get the Jaeger. Can he find the Valkyrie? Plant will go down. 2v2. Actually, 2v1. It's just Sam as his teammates are down. It's a pistol fight. He wins it with the Deagle, but where's Rizzer? He'll finish off Salt. And we're back to a 1v1 post-plant. Sam against Rizzer. The MPX versus the Type 89 as Rizzer has the post-plant position. And it does not look like Sam has intel and the bearing is out. Rizzer clutches it up. And both these teams have miraculously taken their respective attacks in post-plant. We're going to max overtime.
Attack aside overtime. It's, yeah, look, hey. It's not at all what we expected. And, If I believe it is definitely infinite overtime still, as has been the way for the majority of the season. So, Crow, there is potential that this is a very, very long map. I believe that's the way. I don't think anything has changed in the rule set there, but I don't know. Just the pressure, the somehow just holding the right angle that they needed to, and then the pistols come out, and all of a sudden, 1-1 in overtime. We now go back into Team 99's defense. That round was so close. I don't know.
Wow. I really thought Pryde had that in the bag. And then the Valkyrie, she just whiffed. And the guy pressuring the planter also whiffed.
Actually, I'm pretty sure in washroom, Dylan 360'd a flash grenade there as well.
Wait.
It didn't eventuate into anything, but
I just remembered, there is no max OT. There's infinite OT. My bad. You think we're gonna be here for a while?
I mean, hey, look, we SCS holds the record for the second longest competitive match in Rainbow Six history. It was 24 rounds, so
24 rounds.
Yeah,
I forgot
that was me and Chief. That was a long day. It was Emergence as well in that matchup, and I want to say Pryde, but I'm pretty sure it was actually synthetic. But either way, Redux. Sorry, the Frog Champ boys now. But I mean, we could see a very lengthy overtime. Probably not. I think off the back of that last round, we might see Team 99 close it out. They've sort of pulled themselves up. They've
if we go.
What is Riot doing?
If we go to 24 rounds, I might die.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, look, I think the record is 32 rounds, and that was CCS.
That was CCS, yeah. That was a while ago, too. I think actually Levron played in that game.
We talk... Oh, cursing. That's all. Oh, okay. Oh, Zap! Oh, what are you doing? He's won the gunfight, right? It was a bold...
What?
Are we going to see overtime go the way of the attackers? That is definitely looking like it's a possibility here.
All right, so Sam dropped, and Riot was walking through red despite the hatch being open.
Well, Riot was originally looking to contest the hatch. Like, he was sitting below it waiting for someone to open it, and then pulled out and got dropped on.
But, why?
I mean, he didn't have a nitro cell, so I think he was just using his gun.
Well...
Speaking of nitro cells, though, Carl has already committed one, so Bry's the only one with one left. Already, this is... I mean, we saw this approach last time from Pryde on this bomb site, the last time they attacked anyway. And this time, it's looking a little bit more cohesive. The pressure's really going to be on Braxton at the moment to try and make things happen. They have some idea that he is downstairs, though.
I mean, all they got to do right now is clear Rizzer and Bree. Sorry, not Bree. Bry. Dude, I'm stuck calling him Bree because I I had a friend named Brianna, spelled B-R-Y, and we all called her Bree for short, B-R-Y. So I gotta kick that habit. Bry is still upstairs. He's got a C4 in pocket, so I would like to see him fall off and play for that C4 late into the round, but of course, who knows? He could potentially stick up there, but no, I think he has fallen off, as has the smoke of Rizzer. Downstairs, though, Cal tries to get aggressive. He tries to peek Newbalk, but he loses that fight. The SMG-11, not the weapon you want in hand for that. Rizzer also very exposed to those holes above, so he'll rotate out, and now Pryde have the man advantage, but they don't have time. They've got 35 seconds left. They don't have a sledge either, so when it comes to vertical destruction, they are going to be limited, and Brash in the Vigil, he'll finally rear his head. He'll take out Oni and skirt back downstairs to try and play for maybe a late flank. It's a good play for him, but if the players on site get overwhelmed, they could use his support. He'll try and come up ground, but cut down from the new Balk, and Sam finds Brian's sight. It's just Rizzer. Plant going down, not being denied by these gas canisters. He will take the head off of Sam, but it doesn't matter as it's a post plant. Shotgun out, he'll kill the planter close. A double kill now for Rizzer, but still a 1 versus 2 post plant with above pressure established by this attack. He'll have to try and take them out, and you can tell by the way he's playing, he has absolutely no clue where they are. You've got Dylan above, Salt kind of below on the brown stairs, and Rizzer wasting the time away.
He's on the hunt, Salt. Oh, he's gonna see it. He does get it. We are seeing an attacker-sided overtime. Not at all what I expected. Braction was sitting on brown. For some reason, it just must have slipped his mind that someone could have pushed out onto Cigar Belk. And it's exactly what happened. Dylan was there, found the frag. No clue whatsoever. There's, again, it's a game of questionable decisions, it feels like, at the end of the day. And as we are going to see Pryde now head to their reading room hold, I honestly don't know what to make of this.
Well, it's now become a game of who wins a defense. After 2 5-1 defensive splits, I didn't think that's how it was going to go down, but hey, we've flipped the script. We've bucked the trend. We have done away with tradition.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
Pryde will opt to go to reading. Same site as Team 99. I like this, because that is the only site that both these teams have a 100% defensive win rate on. Now, sure, Team 99 just lost it, but I think when Pryde held it, it was definitely a hell of a lot more decisive because of that really weird upstairs hold that Team 99 just could not dislodge, and it looks like Pryde are going to be playing for that again. If Team 99 can't make those proper adjustments, this smoke hold inside of Freezer could do them in once again and secure the map for Pryde.
5 seconds to go.
It's bizarre. I mean, you look at that last round for Team 99, there were 2 players who died to, dumb frags, quote unquote. Riot should not have been killed in the position that he was in at the start of the round. Braction, there was no reason for him to be playing the angle that he was on brown stairs. He could have relocated elsewhere and had more of an effect.
Yeah, why did he just kind of like proned and tried to snake his way up?
But, I mean, again, it could be a case of, the fact that Team 99 really haven't had the competitive matches in the last couple of days that Pryde has. They played a best of 3 yesterday. Now they're coming into this. They've been in that mindset for the last 24 hours, so they're ready to go. Whereas, Team 99 have had that break. It could be a case of that. I don't know what's going on, but both these teams, there are glaring mistakes that are rearing their heads at the moment. And I think, honestly, the winner on this cafe map is going to be who can pull their head in the fastest, get on top of those mistakes, and look to make the changes. Because at the moment, was that it? I think that was a Crafty's
Oh,
Nitro?
it was on the other side of the wall. No. You gotta wait for him to walk in, man. They thought he was already through the red wall.
It looked like he took the damage. Like the damage indicator showed up on his screen, at least on my end, but I don't know.
No, I think we saw that. I think what popped up on his screen was like the debris
explosion,
and like the explosion particle effect clipping through the wall.
Either way, that's a pretty significant bit of utility now off the board. Leaves them with 2 left to play around with, and they're going to be spewing off the back of that, already losing some big vertical control. Look at that, Riot already in the train. Could look to be a real thorn in the side here. Does have a lot of utility, can look to open up those walls, and I don't think Pryde even have a clue that he's there.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Pryde actually have the intel on Riot's position, but as he fires in a breaching round through the drone hole, his position is now known. He hasn't shot the default. He'll take some pot shots from above by Salt, but luckily for him, none will hit. But Salt still lords above, as does Dylan. They have not been dislodged, and they can just play for that denial from above as Oni just collect intel for them on the 3 players, or at least he can see 2 out of the 3 players currently inside a pillar. And speaking of one of them, Braxton will get the kill on the Salt, so one of those top floor players now dead. That is huge for the attack. Another one as well for Braxton as he finds Oni, but there's a flank from Crafty. He'll kill one. Can he find the second? He needs to find that planter. He's behind the bookcase, but no, he can't even find the other one all the way by White. He'll get taken out by Rizzer as Braxton finds Sam for his third, and it's just Dylan. He is above, but the diffuser control is in hand for the attackers. They'll start getting this plant down. It doesn't look like Dylan knows exactly where it is either. Shotgunning from above, his position should now be known by the attackers as it's a post plant. 1v4, and it looks like we're going to need another round.
So, in regulation time, a 10-2 defensive split. Now in overtime, a 4-0 attacker split. What changed? What has changed in the matchup that these rounds are now so significantly attacker-sided? I would imagine, yes, you've now played both teams' defensive halves, so both teams have an idea of what their opponents are bringing on the defense, but even still, surely that's not enough to swing things so heavily in this attacker side. Like, it's just bizarre. And I mean, before heading into OT, going into round number 13, I would have said, this is going to be a round that goes the way of Team 99. But after the last 4, I almost have to give it to Pryde because of the way that rounds have been playing out.
Attackers need to locate
How
and
bizarre.
defuse bombs.
I'm out of paper. I'm out of paper. That's how long this has been going on.
Aha, I still never.
Yeah, but I've seen your notes, Crow. That's because you're insane. That's why. But I mean, okay, I will posit this to you. What needs to change for either of these teams for them to pick up a defensive round?
Hi. Far, all 4 rounds have had plants. So, and actually haven't. Oh no, all but 1 plant has been in overtime. There have been 5 total plants in this series, and only one of them was in regulation, and that was...
That was in round 7. It was the defuse win for 99.
It was round 7. So that's the big thing. I feel like if you can deny plant, you can win the round. But so far, both these teams have been wholly incapable of doing so.
It's just bizarre stuff. I mean, you look at, again, why is Oni on hatch duty? Why are you using a Maverick to open hatches? I mean, yes, he can afford to do it, but even still, like, it's just bizarre stuff coming out here today in the first match of a best of 3, by the way. We still have potential for 2 more maps.
2 maps. And then there's a whole nother game after this.
Yeah, this could be a very, very long day. At least for the production side of things. At least we get to go after the first series. I mean, I'm still going to be watching after this, but yeah, at least we can not have to talk anymore. But Pryde, they're inside. They're looking to start things off. Last time Sam was there, he won the straight-up gunfight against Riot. This time around, he's going to be tagged. I believe it's by the Evil Eye there, just taking some chip damage. But
wait, he didn't...
He's trying to... Did he get it?
He didn't go for the Evil Eye. He went for the bar stand. Like by the cocktail rotate. Oh, there it is.
Trying to clear out people. There we go. Okay, so they've got their bases covered, but already you've talked about it consistently. The overcommitment of utility for next to no return, and they do finally start to clear things out. But you look at what's available: 1 concussion, not a single breaching round. They've got 6 breaching charges left, none of which are going to be hugely effective here. And the most damage that has been dealt is onto Sam.
And it's barely any at that. However,
oh boy.
We will see the Thermite be able to do something. He'll start to open the kitchen wall, or sorry, not kitchen, the freezer wall, and actually open a little bit of the bathroom too. Interesting exothermic charge placement. So now Rizzer, feeling a little bit of it pressured, he'll fall back over towards pallets and forfeit Pixel. Riot can still stop any white push, but that is a large avenue for the attackers to look through. I'm not quite sure. I don't think they'll be pushing through it. they'll probably just use it as cover. But Braxton is still below with a Maestro and a Valkyrie up. If those cams are still alive, Braxton can get a C4 from below. But as I say that, he'll throw it up and he'll whiff. No kill comes of it. Now, Salt is extremely lit. He's very low HP. If he tries to take a swing or to this flanking Braxton, he could fall pretty easily. But, I mean, that's about it. Everyone else is pretty damn healthy. But Braxton on the flank, he'll find the Ash. There we go. There's Salt going down, but Dylan finds a refrag on the site to Rizzer. Another C4 goes out. It will not find its mark. Crafty in, destroys the Lucy. He'll try to go for this plant, and Oni takes a kill into Cocktail. 4 versus 3 now, as well as a soon-to-be post plant, and there it is. Sam and Dylan both find a kill each. It's just Riot, as yet again the defense fails to deny the plant. Pryde take round 17 just as dominantly as Team 99 took round 16. And yet again, we will have a perfect plant record for both teams.
How? 2 1v4s in a row.
I couldn't tell you.
The have been left into. We're now... okay, we are 17 rounds in to the first map of a best of 3. I said it was going to be close. I didn't think it was going to be this close. And
dude, and
look... If the rest of OT is anything to go by, we're going to be heading to round number 18 very, very soon. We could break that record of the second most rounds in a competitive match. We are, what, at the moment, we're 17 rounds in. We're 7 rounds away. So there's still some trading that doesn't
We are
go
a
back
whole
and forth.
map's worth away.
I mean, the best sign that we have that this could be shut out in the next round is the fact that, 1, we are going down to Kitchen. 2, it is Pryde on the defense. It has been a bomb site that has worked very, very well for them. So, in reality, they could shut it out here. But, in saying that, defense has not been the game here in overtime.
They just have not denied plant. Ever.
Like,
and you know what?
I don't know.
There's further implications to Infinite OT going this long, too. If you lose a game that goes to, like, round 20, like, how chalked is your mental going to be? Combined with the fact that both teams are probably going to be tired as hell, and there's still possibly 2 maps after this.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
There's another series after this. So
this is an endurance race right now between Pryde and
I do
Team
not
99.
envy at all.
Whoever gets tired first, whoever gets more tired first is going to be the loser.
Look, we've already started to see, you know, that mental stamina drained a little bit here. We've seen some rounds where...
But we got Frost back! Is that the difference maker?
I honestly could not tell you. I have no idea. These rounds have just been so attacker-sided that I don't even think this is the defining factor that could push it over the edge.
It would be really funny if it was, though.
Once again, X-Kairo's under the hatches. We're going... I think we have seen more rounds where hard breach utility has been used to open the hatches than we have soft breach utility.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Also, the Mozzie is dead. Yep, there we go. As soon as I saw Salt, like, beeline to white, I was like, yeah, he's done for. Bry gets a kill. Bry, who has been pretty quiet. He'll get a freebie. Good for him. He's got a long way to go before he catches up to the rest of the lobby. But hey, it's an opener.
It is a frag, and there we go. Nitro Cell out from Crafty. Does not find anything. So 2 Nitro Cells. In fact, both the Nitro Cells now gone. So Braxton is going to be that little bit more secure in opening up the floor. There's still guns to worry about, obviously, but at the end of the day, those are definitely manageable. Again, the start of this round screams an attacker-sided round. I don't know what to tell you, Crow. I think we are going to be broaching that record of second place.
Great. I'm so excited to be playing Cafe for 24 rounds.
Well, if we get the record, it's going to be 25, so...
That is true.
Well,
wow,
it'd have to be 26,
Oni
actually.
just freaking dumpstered that guy. Riot is dead because Oni was left undroned, and he's still inside a bakery, challenging, I believe, the Hibana of Rizzer. So, Oni, this is a very important position. The longer he holds on to it, closer the round is going to come. Right now, they just can't flush him out, and he'll get another kill onto Bry. Excellent play from the Jaeger. He'll finally go down to the player above, though. Braxton takes his head off. We're back to even man count. We got the equalizer. However,
there's only 30 seconds left.
yeah,
So...
there's only 25 seconds left, and Braxton is still upstairs. Rizzer, who's kind of alone right now, pushing up Prep. He's the one carrying Diffuser. Here's the support from his teammate, but that is an excellent angle being played by Crafty. He'll get Cal inside of Prep. Dylan is still inside of Kochek as well. He could easily kill Braxton if the Braxton is unaware, and there it is. It's just Rizzer in a 1 versus 2. Is someone finally going to take a defensive round? Is this where the map ends? It's 0-0. He's got to get the plant down, and there is no chance. Sam ends it out. Pryde take round number 18. Finally, the map is over. A score of 10-8 in favor of Pryde.
18 rounds played.
Jesus Christ. And you know why they won? They killed the planet.
That's the one. it's the
I mean, there was a lot of stuff before that too, but they killed the planner. Jesus Christ. Everyone in the lobby had double digits.
Except for Bree.
Except Bry, who is also, coincidentally, the only player who left the lobby early.
But 6 players sitting above 15 frags. A phenomenal showing for Pryde. They really did step up. They went absolutely massive, taking away their opponent's map pick. Crow, we could see a reality where both teams take their opponent's map pick here today.
Dude, if we have to play another 18 rounds on map 2, I'm gonna have to go take a walk.
And I do believe we will have King coming back. King!
Max.
It's good to see you. It feels like it's been forever.
Oh, holy crap. No, but that was a crazy long matchup. I mean, just when you thought it was just about over, suddenly another attacking round would happen and just win. So what was going on in the overtime specifically? Let's start there. We just saw attack. Hold on. Attack, win over and over again. And Crow, you did mention this after the game was over a little bit, but it was the game of people planting and the planter not being killed off. Why were they allowed to do that on both teams?
I honestly couldn't tell you. It just looked like the defense started playing way more aggressively and not playing the site as effectively. I think it was just as the map slowly went on, people figured out how to attack it. And the plant was never denied. Every single round in overtime, with the exception of the last one, was a post plant. And the kitchen defense that they finally got, sure, I mean, I joked about them being able to win because they denied plant, but that was already at 0-0. The big major factor was that after Salt died, Pryde didn't overextend themselves. They didn't try to retake upstairs heavily. They played back their positions. They knew they had time on their side, and Team 99 was forced to push into them.
Absolute insanity. Oh, Panda, we can't hear you.
No, I'm here. Don't worry.
Never mind. I'm just going down.
I'm just still recovering off the back of an 18-round cafe.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is that now? 3rd place for longest competitive, somewhere around there.
I mean, it's 6 rounds shy of our 2nd place record, so there's potential that someone else is staked into 3rd, but. I mean, that's still getting up there. That's 2.5 maps of Rainbow Six Siege, effectively, if you consider 7 O's. I mean, you could see it the last couple of rounds. Both teams were sort of just defaulting to standard strategies. We didn't see anything overly complex coming out of either side in terms of strategies. I think they were just trying to keep themselves fresh enough to go into a 2nd map. So hopefully this break is going to be enough for them to revitalize. Go into the 2nd map, and you look there, the stats on screen. Pryde, I mean, that is a rating that we saw out of Pryde the last time these two teams played.
I mean, holy crap again. Look at the stat lines that we see so far. You mentioned it also, Crow and Pan, I believe you mentioned it as well. Bry not having the best of game this time around, definitely having the outlier of all the kills that we do see on the board and on the entry, no less, on Zofia. Can you walk me through that? Just why was Bry not showing up compared to the rest of the team?
You know, I mean, sometimes you just have bad games. I think that was the case for Bry. We've seen Bry step up before, and he's not been that much of a slouch. It was just today he just had some inability to entry. Either his teammates were taking all those entry kills and he was left to try and pick up the pieces and failed to, or he would just get clapped the minute he stepped into the building. But you can see he's the outlier. Everyone else with double digits, 5, 6 people with 15 plus. And I mean, look at something that I definitely think helped Pryde win is look at how even they are. 16-10, 2 16-14s, and 2 12-15s. That is, I mean, that's a team effort right there. Now, sure, on Team 99, you also have a lot of kill numbers, but they're definitely a hell of a lot more spread out. Their costs as well are definitely a lot more top-heavy, where you've got a way more even contest on Pryde. I think Pryde, what really saved them in those 2 last rounds and in OT to really lock out the map was just the fact that every single one of them was stepping up.
And I'm glad you mentioned that too, because, you know, with Pryde winning and everything, this was not their map pick either.
Yeah.
This was Team 99's, and they really need to win this. Panda, now that we're going to be going to map 2 relatively soon, is Team 99 going to go in with the same amount of charisma that they went into for Cafe? They were already down 2-6 to begin with, and they brought it back. Has all that energy been spent?
I mean, look, I think it's gonna come down to, you know, 1, stamina, and 2, mental fortitude. That is soul crushing. You know, you bring it back from a 6-2 deficit to get to overtime, to get to a position where you could have taken the map away and then still lose it out anyway. I mean, you booked yourself a spot in the semifinals. You didn't have to play through the quarters. So I think this is probably going to weigh on them a little bit. Now they've got to go to Villa. They've got to reset. They've got to stop themselves from, you know, bleeding these important frags and all the rest of it. Bry really has to step up here going to the second map. Riot as well, but at certain points through that map was really caught wanting in certain situations, specifically when he was going for over-aggressive plays and he didn't need to. So I think if Team 99 they can reset, fresh map, new team, they just take it as this entirely new series. Take it just map by map. They can definitely bring this back, take us to Clubhouse. But I mean, Pryde, the momentum that they're riding going into this second map, their own map pick as well. So the confidence has to be there. I just, Team 99 needs to bring something huge going into Villa. Otherwise, I think this could be over. I'd be surprised, you know, if they don't bring out something different, if it goes to overtime on Villa here.
Yeah, I mean, very aptly put. Now, one thing though about SCS and the rest of, you know, Team 99 and Pryde is that we don't get to see matches very often go 8, you know, have a 10-8 scoreline. It's almost completely unheard of. That's why, you know, saying second or even third, maybe in overall total longest competitive matches is a crazy thing. But what isn't crazy is that we can have great teams go pretty close neck and neck to each other. But next season is going to be even crazier with Season 5, because we're going to be probably seeing more and more teams just as good as Team 99 and Pryde go into things. And I guarantee you that first, second, and third longest overtime matches are probably going to get blown out of the water. With the Open Qualifier starting on February 3rd, you and your team, if you sign up, have so many different chances with not 1 but 2 Open Qualifiers to skyrocket your team out of those pools and make your way as one of the best and top teams of not only SCS, but given that SCS is as prestigious as it is, probably one of the best T3 teams in all of Siege. Now, of course, if you haven't signed up already, what are you doing? You got to go sign up right now. Unlimited teams will be in both of those pools. Only 10 of them from each of these pools will advance into the closed qualifiers. From there, two of those 10 teams, and of course 2 others, will be in the running for those closed qualifiers, and only 10 of those will advance to the actual Season 5. So it's going to be incredibly cutthroat from the very beginning. There's going to be no slouches making their way through to the very end here. And we get to see more T99 and Pryde-like games going forwards. Keep in mind too, guys, this is the first of possibly 3 maps tonight in the first set of semifinals that we could see. So imagine having something like this, probably even more entertaining than it already is, but almost every single night for SCS Season 5. Now, of course, the actual season itself will be 12 teams, 2 groups, and of course, best of 2s every week. So it's going to be a little bit more lax than what you're seeing here now, but still going to be just as cutthroat, with the top 4 teams from each of those groups advancing to Stage 2. Now, Stage 2, if you're a fan of these semifinals, it's going to be pretty much just like this, where 8 teams are going to go in double elimination in a best of 3 style to see who truly is the champion of T3 going forwards. Now, Crow and Panda, you guys might be exhausted already, but this is only the beginning of possibly 2 more maps, and maybe
Ooh.
even of so many more matchups in the future for the next season. And of course, you guys will be part of the talent for the next season as well, including myself there. So we're gonna have to get used to this pretty quickly.
Man, Infinite OT is just pain.
I mean, I like it.
I mean, look, it makes for some interesting storylines going so deep into a map that, I mean, it really gets down to the who can dig the deepest at the end of the day, who can push it over the finish line, and it was Pryde in that last map. We are just waiting on confirmation. We are going to be heading straight into Villa. Keg, we'll see you soon. Hopefully it won't be as long as last time, but Crow, we're going into it. We're straight into Villa. 99, we'll be starting off on the defense here, and look, at this stage, it's impossible to call. We saw Cafe, it started off very defender-sided, and then OT was attacker-sided. So it's really, and we're not going to know what happens until 1, we get through these operator picks, and 2, we get into the first couple of rounds of the map.
Yeah, I would imagine we don't see something like that again, because that would definitely be really weird. First ban from Team 99 is going to be Hibana. If there's any hard breacher that you're going to ban on Villa, it's usually her. After Ace came out, it was him, because ranged hard breach.
There we go.
And they're both gone. All right, because ranged hard breach is the way to go on this map. You don't want to have to risk a thermite. Mav tricking is pretty damn hard. So Ace and Hibana are your best friends. Now you have neither of them. So already pretty damn defender-sided just looking at these bans. Now Valkyrie, a very important operator on both Cafe and Villa, equally so, a lot of people could say. She won't be available. No free camp spots. A lot less Nitro Cell presence unless we're going to be seeing a lot of Pulse play, which is very common on Villa, and Mira being banned out. Now, Mira, I honestly still don't really know how I feel about Mira bans on Villa just because you can, like, go below and just shoot them because everywhere you put Miras is just destructible from below or above. But they just don't want to have to take that extra step. They'll get rid of her, which means Wamai is still up, Echo's still up, Maestro's still up, all that good stuff.
Echo, well, we haven't seen an Echo yet. I was surprised, in all honesty, on Cafe. It wasn't banned out, wasn't picked up whatsoever. And as we head into it, AVG, no surprises there that we're going to be starting on the go-to bomb site for the majority of teams here on Villa. And I mean, Thatch has been let through, so why not pick it up? Braction is currently on the 6th pick. The question is, do we see it? And Goyo, another operator that we do see a lot of play for, but I mean, without that Wamai, it's a little bit less secure. You can still deal with them quite easily. This is a pick that could be detrimental to the team.
Oh. We'll have to see. You know why we probably didn't see Echo on Cafe? Both these teams watched Wichita Wolves play him and throw uber hard. So they're probably like, you know what? Maybe Echo's not the play. Echo, I think, does get a little bit of play on this map like an AVG, because you can sit Echo pretty comfortably inside a vault. But you can see Team 99 are going for a more open floor plan. We see this being played pretty often, where you open the study walls rather than close them, put someone inside a vault, and have them just keep swinging the long angles. That makes the attackers, one, kind of scared to push in for fear of their head just getting taken off through that wall, and 2, forces them to constantly keep a pair of eyes on those if they're pushing study.
Was that an aggressive early Nitro Cell or a pre-placed? I think it was a pre-placed.
It's probably the pre-placed. It's probably the pre-placed in 90.
Yeah. No, I saw him throw it. I had the rip and no explosion. So
they lost 2. Oh yeah, I wonder if he did the spawn peak Nitro. Okay, Salt just killed 2 people.
And yeah, he's well and truly in study. He's found a 3rd. Salt with 3 kills off the rip, and he's looking for even. How has things gone from so heavily defensive sided to now wildly attacker sided in the space of about 6 rounds? At least Braction is going to answer back, but he does get felled by Crafty. Pro, what is going on?
All right.
Pryde gets caught on the reload. He was reloading as he swung that corner.
That round is over in a minute. 1 minute. Pryde saw, hey, the study walls are open. and Salt walked in and killed 2 people in 10 seconds.
Three.
And then he
Well, you got
and then he
you
killed a
got third as
third.
well.
Yeah. And then, sure, Braxton did his best. He got, what, 2 kills? He shut down Salt and killed someone else. And then Crafty walked in and fragmited. And that's the story of that round. I don't suppose that'll happen again, but what a way to start off Villa for Pryde.
But Pryde
Protect your bombs from
swung
being used by attackers.
into towards the doorway while reloading, coming from classical. Like
Listen,
he walked straight into zombie while reloading. Like
he just didn't expect him.
Like his teammate has just died. He knew there was no control over Study. He was the last player. I don't know. It's first round of the second map. It was. I think they were probably caught off guard as much as we were there. But, I mean, that's not instilling me with a whole lot of confidence for Team 99 right now.
Yeah, right now, Pryde seem, at least just from that first round, to be a little bit more in it.
Attackers must
Team 99 are going to go for pretty much the same strategy, except they have someone below. Got Braxton on the Goyo to perhaps stop someone from, walking up main stairs and killing 2 of his teammates. It looks like the attackers might be aware of that, judging by that pre-fire. So I'm glad that now, with the round slowing down, we get to actually see how Team 99 want to hold this site.
Well, yeah, no, this time around, we're not going to see Salt just waltz in through Study and blow away 2 people. This time around, it's going to be a slower approach. They're going to get themselves in, get some control over towards master bedroom side of things, and just look to go from that north to south clear. Barricade spotted in bathroom, so they probably have an inkling that someone is sitting offside at the moment. You'd hope, at least. Otherwise, we could see one of those big flanks that we've seen a couple of times throughout the series show up and do some real damage. But it really does come down to the execute here. Team 99. Carl sitting in 90 at the moment. Very aggressive positioning there with that shield of his. You look already, so much ground now conceded by this Team 99 roster. Can they bring it back, though, is the question.
Well, this round already very slow, if the last round is our compared metric. There is a guy inside, or was inside of 90. He's already fallen back, so that's good for the attack. They have control, and they just have to take a classical hallway. It's Cal who was over there, and he's retreated back into the site. There's only one person downstairs, too. It's Braxton, but he's actually rotated up the main stairs, so no C4 explosive surprise from below. There's actually a Goyo shield on that little cabinet. So one of those Goyo shields has been dispensed of. There's no study pressure right now from the attack, so Riot can just kind of sit here and completely shut down anyone pushing from that doorway, and he's got Braxton to hold his cross from the study door as well. Oni, though, firing through the barricade, he takes it down, and he also takes down Riot. One of your study players now gone, Braxton holding a crossfire with nobody, but no, caught on a drone is Sam. Crafty is luckily there for the refrag to maintain the man advantage for Pryde. No study control still, or not full study control. You just have Oni kind of cutting off the rotate, whereas with 2 gas canisters left, 35 seconds to delay. Almost a great shot by Braxton, but he can't take Oni off. C4 as well, not going to blow up from Braxton, and he's caught on his rotate by Oni. Cal will deny the plant, but they both go down to Dylan, and Pryde will secure round number 2.
2 rounds. In fact, 4 rounds in a row now, if you include the final 2 of Cafe. And look, this is again very convincing attack setups from Pryde. They're really just storming through this map already, and it seems somehow going into overtime, the switch has happened from what were defensive-sided rounds to heavily attacker-sided at the moment. And it's good to see Team 99 will switch things up. We're going to see Split coming out next. AVG definitely not working for them at the moment, but you look at the lineups. There we go. Riz is going to be on the 6th pick because they were sitting on exactly the same lineup. And Castle, the name of the game, that's looks like they're going to go for that aggressive master bedroom setup that some teams have been running.
Losing AVG twice in a row is not a good look either. AVG tends to be a lot of people's main bomb site. Hopefully Team 99 do better on trophy, That'd be cool. They're bringing a castle on this site. Castling off
Are they? They're seriously gonna?
Skull.
They're gonna cut
Castling
off.
off double. Huh.
That's wild.
Where's the third castle going? What do you think?
Walk-in closet maybe, like
10 seconds
But-
to go.
maybe bathroom, but I mean the setup. They're cutting off so much in the map.
Nighty window or Astro window?
No, Astro window.
Astro window. Okay.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and
I
defend.
mean, you're not even contesting such a huge portion of the map. You're basically giving it away for free. That's insane. Like, you can see, the Pryde are flooding towards study. There's absolutely no way for the defense to contest other than Braction, who's alone in piano. So there's no refrag potential if he does go down.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
And Salt already at this, if he's going for a nitro play, this is going to have to be a huge nitro if he does find it. I mean, questionable is the only way I can describe this play.
I mean, he's just, ratting around, trying to maybe get a free pick from a flank. Hope no one's watching. Someone just kind of walks into him. Whatever. Already we have 90 control being established by the attackers. That was quick. Castle Barricade will likely go down in a couple seconds because, of course, there's an Ashe who can just blow it up because she now has 3 breaching rounds. Braction still underneath them. He could see 2 people, or one of 2 people potentially, but of course he does not have intel, so he won't go for it. Down goes one of the castle barricades, and there's the other, so now the crowd control that they had set up over towards Skull is no longer there. That's
Oh,
Braction.
oh, that's information. That's huge information given up.
Oh,
Carl
no!
gets down, taken out by Riz. Salt swings in, finds Riz, only finds Braction. This is all just coming apart here at the seams. Pryde at least will get himself on the board, but he's now being contested. He's now down. He's dead. It's Salt, and it's all on Riot here. He's got a shield to play around with, but there's so many angles open up. He gets the kill on the Crafty. And River Freeze, I can't see what's going on. He's looking for more. No, he shot. They were their own worst enemies in that round. That's the only way I can describe it.
So that was a pretty slow clear from Pryde. They got all the castles open, and then they just kind of exploded onto the site, and nobody on the defense could stop them. Oh, Braction's gonna have to 6-pick off that.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay.
but I mean, they locked out so much of the map. They were relying solely on Braction to be the external contest from outside the bomb site, and Carl just gets drilled in the back of the head by a teammate.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
I
defused.
don't know.
Cal,
I have
to be
no
fair,
idea what to make of that.
Cal was already down. I mean,
but what are you gaining by killing your teammate other than like just
preventing
denying
the
stats?
preventing the enemy from having the satisfaction of getting the kill.
I have no idea.
Trust. That's the play.
Question.
It's the mental game.
Yeah, just destroy your own team's mental. That seems to be the name. Pryde are up 3-0, attacking rounds on Villa. This
10
is.
seconds remaining.
I've said it a couple of times now. Unexpected. I was not anticipating this coming into the second map of the series.
Yeah, I thought it would still be maybe pretty hotly contested. I hoped that it would still be hotly contested, but it looks like Pryde are just kind of running away with Villa. Maybe Team 99, with the less experienced players, comp players, I believe, with like Bry and Riot, maybe are tired. Maybe they just don't have the endurance yet. Because right now, Pryde look like they're still firing on all cylinders, and Team 99 don't.
I mean, Oni and Dylan have yet to die, and they've still managed to pick up a kill every single round of play so far. And once again, we see complete control of this southern side of the map given up. They've taken control of study. They're pushing up 90. Sam does take some damage, as I believe there was some resistance, but now they've already pulled off Crafty on the repel as well. They have so much of this map already locked down in the first minute of play that, I mean, they're not even going to meet that much resistance going in towards the bomb site. Yes, Riz is downstairs on the Bandit, but we saw Braxton in that same spot last round on the Goyo and was able to cheat. He got some damage onto Dylan. He had a free kill onto Dylan and wasn't able to confirm. So, look, it is what it is at the moment. Pryde, they're just firing on all cylinders. They're able to capitalize on these mistakes that are being made. Bry, at least, will find the frag on a Crafty, so Thermite down. That's exactly the sort of thing you need. And from here, this could be the first round we see 99 get on the board.
That would be cool. They would stem the bleeding. They certainly need to get on the board within the next couple rounds, or otherwise this half is just completely done for. And the Thermite, like you said, if there's anyone that you're going to kill first, might as well be him. Big utility off the board, no more hard breach for the attackers. No more Crafty, who has been a pretty damn good performer through these last couple maps. A very consistent one on the support, which is what you love to see. Of course, as well, if they lose Trophy again, then they have not won their primary site, either of their primary sites. They would be 0-2 on both AVG and Trophy. And even if they went to Dining and won that, then it's like, where do we go next? Maybe Living Room Library? That'd be cool. But of course, we got to get through this round first. Oni's dead. There's a refrag from Salt. He'll try to push deeper into the site. He sees the Jaeger's head for a second, and he'll be collapsed upon. Another one for Salt, but is traded out by Bry. And another one for Bry. A triple kill for the Malusi. It's just Dylan in a 1v3. Can he clutch up? No, he cannot. He whiffs on Rizzer, and Team 99 will finally take their first round.
1-1 on the split at the very least, so they have that going for them. But now they need to look for two more. Take that half as close to even as they can. But now split's locked out, so Aviator Games is going to be making its third appearance here. Do we see a change-up? Do we see them just straight lockout study, reinforce all four of those panels, electrify them so the breach is that much harder? I mean, Thatcher's on the board as well as the Thermite, but we're not seeing it picked up here at the moment. Dylan still could 6-pick off it, but I mean, there's just no contest. Do we need to see like a Legion brought something to slow them down at the very least? Because the way in which Pryde are getting themselves in the building and establishing control of the second floor is terrifying.
Yeah, why are Team 99 going to AVG again?
Well, they're not going for the same hold, it seems. They are looking to fully reinforce off into study.
I mean, oh, do we have to... Damn it.
Look, would it be a tier 3 siege competition if there wasn't a rehost? I get that confirmed. So, Crow, it's 3-1. Hey, look, at least 99 got themselves around back on the board. They can start to come back towards the half and look for a 3-3. But, I mean, the first 3 rounds of the map was so devastatingly Pryde-sided that, I mean, Team 99, that's going to be a huge blow to their mentality. One, it's defense on Villa. They should not be losing as significantly as they are. I mean, yes, they've got around on the board, but what do they need to do to get the next 2? Like, there's so many questions left unanswered at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully their adjustment on AVG will be enough to get them around. I mean, we couldn't really fully see what they were going to be going for. I'm glad that they're not doing that open floor plan study hold anymore, because, man, that was really not working. Pryde had their number every single time. But it's also, like, you've already lost the site twice, and you're going to be going back to it.
I mean, positive note, Bry is almost matching his kills from map number 1, and we were only heading into round number 5. So,
that
at
is
least
true.
they have that. Bry really has stepped up going into map number 2. He is the kill leader for Team 99 at the moment. He's finding his frags on the Malusi. So, could that be an indicator that, you know, he's now firing on all cylinders?
I would certainly hope so, because it doesn't look like the rest of his team is. At least so far. That was, what, a triple kill for him in that round?
Yeah, he's been doing big damage. Braxton as well has got a couple there, but it's still just not been enough. Every single round, it's been heavily one-sided. It's probably the best way you can describe it. Rounds 1 through 3, Pryde decimate. Well, not even, no, decimating's the wrong one. My mum will yell at me because she's very pedantic about decimate. Destroying. Literally, you were getting into 1v4 situations for the defense at the end of those rounds, and I mean, you want to be bringing things in, but the refrags really haven't been there on the whole for Team 99. So hopefully they start to play, if not, in those situations, because they're running the sole roamer. Maybe they need to run the dual roam. I mean, on a map like Villa, the depth of roam you can achieve going down to the basement is so big. You could actually look to do some real work. So hopefully they start to implement that a little bit. But who knows? We have yet to see the tertiary bomb site, and in fact, there's a good chance we don't see it at all. If they do, I mean, yeah, actually, there's only one round after this one that we have a chance to see that. So
Yeah.
it really comes down to whether or not they win Aviator game.
The worrying thing for me now is Team 99 have finally won a site, but they can't repeat that site because they won it on round 4. So, like you said, where do they go next? Right? If they win AVG, they'll have to go to unfamiliar territory. And I don't know. I'm definitely a little bit worried for Team 99. We do have all 10 players in the lobby, but Braction has not switched teams. As soon as Braction switches teams, we can finally start. But,
the answer from Team Pryde is someone just needs to go to his house and hit spacebar, but I think that's probably a bit of an ask at the moment. So let's look at what we know. Round number 5, they now have a round on the board. They're going to be heading back to Aviator, which, I mean, devastatingly poor showings is probably the best way to describe it. First round, Salt runs in, finds 3 kills before going down himself, and then Crafty clears up the last 2. Second attempt was a little bit better, but even still, they were just able to quite handily take the bomb site and get the win on kills alone. We haven't seen a plant, which was the same for the majority of regulation time on map 1, so we could see at least that trend continue a little bit here. This is feeling much like it's going to be a 4-2 split.
yeah.
Like, Aviator has not worked for them at all. Then the only option going to round number 6 if they lose this is, I would have to imagine they go to a different site, because there is no way that we are seeing Aviator games 4 times and a half.
I would hope not.
You would hope not, but we do have confirmation. We are going to be sending it back into game. Round number 5, Aviator games. We saw some changes already being made. Are they going to stick to that? That's the question.
I think so. They'll probably. I mean, they have to go same ops anyway, so they'll probably be sticking with that adjustment. It was too. They called the rehost too early, or not too early, but like early enough on that they probably didn't quite see the setup from Team 99. So I would imagine Team 99 are still comfortable going into the same hold. I'm really interested to see how the switch up affects it. I mean, of course, you're not going to have, if you're the attack, you don't really have that free angle into the bomb site left, which is good, because they just haven't been able to play off of it. So AVG, if you didn't remember, is the site, and instead of an open floor plan, they're going to be able to close off those walls, bandit them, in fact, and have plenty of drone denial on the Mute and the Mozzie. So I wonder if we're going to have an off-site hold as well for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you almost want to see the Jaeger Mozzie, or even the Jaeger Malusi roam downstairs, something of that caliber, so they can look to impact things from off-site. So the last time we saw them bring that off-site hold, it was Braction downstairs, and he retreated back to the bomb site reasonably early into the round, even before the first couple of contests had started to happen. So, I mean, look, we'll have to wait and see how things kick off here. So there we go. Braction, he's setting up that barricade once again in Astra, I think. I mean, it'll give an audio cue, obviously, if they do hear someone break it. Yeah, no open floor plan. They're going for the full shot out of study here.
10 seconds left.
Hopefully they can look to make this one work.
5 seconds remaining.
So it looks like,
Attackers must locate.
yeah, it looks like they're not roaming too heavily off-site. Of course, it is in the round. So
Braction's looking for a spawn peak.
he is looking for a spawn peak. That is currently their off-site presence. So I mean, now he's come back to site. So yeah, a lot more. Never mind, he's down. Turtle heavy from Team 99, which is what you like to see with the way Pryde has been playing so far. They've been able to pick off these roamers one by one and then just absolutely smother the site. So more people anchoring means less people to pick for, and harder for the attackers to smother them.
Playing just inside that aviator doorway. The pings are there, so they obviously have some indicator that he is in that position. Banshee on the stairs, just dealt with miss swing with the butt of the gun there, but they do get it in the end. So now they do have that freedom to play from below should they choose to. I mean, that's interesting. Pryde again chiming in with another big frag, takes down Salt. Has really just gone absolutely huge with this MP5 so far. Utility dump now starting in as the ADS is... Oh no, Oni, not again. He's getting some PTSD from map number 1 with those frag grenades. Just cooked it a touch too long. Second one thrown. I would imagine a little bit more successful as he didn't lose any more health. Riz taking some damage. Sam in position. Pro, they're gearing up, but Pryde are a little bit worse for wear in this situation.
Yes, Sam gets taken down by Rizzer. Now it's just a 5 versus 3 that Pryde have to work themselves out of, and Crafty will go down to Braction. 5 versus 2. It's just Oni and Dylan to try and clutch up. Of course, Dylan's alive, and as we've seen, anything's possible when Dylan's alive. But with a minute left and 5 bodies to find, I don't really see this happening at all. You've still got all the defenders in their good anchor spots. 2 players, 1 behind the bar. Sure, the player behind bar is lit up, but he's got support from Braction over by 90 to watch down Classical Hall and into Books. Time is bleeding away. 50 seconds left for these last 2 members to try something happen. They're both inside of study, and all the defenders have turned their guns over in that direction. Now, Rizzer does get a little bit aggressive on the doorway. Oni will be able to take his head off, so that's 1 good answer for Pryde. But, again, it's just 1 out of 5. Flash is coming in from Dylan to try and burn away any ADS, but there's actually... It baited out Braction somehow. It's another successful kill for Dylan, and Team 99 need to put on the brakes. They keep pushing out and keep losing bodies. They could end up losing the round, but Oni goes down as Riot peeks out from Vault, and Dylan, unaware of the player to his left, he's able to find 1, but Cal is there for the refrag. Team 99, though it started to slip, still able to take round number 5.
I mean, Dylan and Oni were still able to bring it back close. They almost were able to do it. Dylan is just an absolute powerhouse. You cannot give him any room to work because we've seen what he can do with it time and time again in those, situations where the Pryde is at a deficit. He can still do some significant damage. And for the first time, we are going to be heading down onto the first floor. It is going to be Dining Kitchen as the setup, and no changes in the defensive roster. They are going to be running the exact same thing again, it does seem. No, Riz, he's going to be bringing Alicia instead, so they understand just how aggressive, just how quickly Pryde are moving into the building and getting themselves established. But, I mean, it feels maybe like a case of too little too late.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Well, we'll see if they're able to successfully take Dining. They did take Trophy, and eventually were able to win AV 3rd time around. Oh, Riot was muted. Okay. Interesting. He was accidentally... Alright. For Riot was accidentally server muted. So, he's back. Team 99 on Dining. This is going to definitely be interesting. We have not seen them go to this site yet because APG and Trophy for 5 rounds. But even if they still take this, it's a 3-3 half for Pryde after their attack. Now, Villa has slowly become a little bit more even, but I think it's still kind of, at this level of play at least, still kind of lean more to the defense. But we'll have Pryde play it. They do have all necessary tools to try and take up top and get that nice construction down, so we'll see if they're able to do just that.
Yeah. Coming into this, I mean, interesting that we're not seeing a pulse on this bomb site. A lot of teams do tend to run them. But no, they have their lineups. They have a pre-placed Nitro as well from the sounds of things. Braction down in the basement. Could run into Salt at any moment. The drone looked like was heading up towards Astro potentially. No, up towards Pantry instead. But what do they find on the backside of it? Salt already in Pantry. Oh no! Not aware of Pryde. He was standing up on the bench. Does find that frag. And again, a key contributor to Team 99's defense in the last few rounds. Almost finds Oni as well. It's Braction to finalize it. Looking for more. Can't quite do it as Sam is there. Takes his head clean off. This is more of what we expected out of Team 99.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot more aggressive, and it seems to be catching Pryde off guard. That is the third round in a row that Bry has gotten the opening kill, and the second round in a row that the opening kill was on to Salt. As he jumps in, takes damage, and is finished off by Rizzer peeking through Memorial. And again, it's Dylan and someone else. Dylan and Sam this time, not Oni. Try and clutch up, and unfortunately, Sam absolutely no clue where Rizzer is. Rizzer, though, hits an air jab, but for some reason, Dylan can't confirm the kill. He'll back off, try and push over towards the hallway, or looks like he'll just sit this one out, wait out the clock. He'll re-challenge over towards the window, finish off the Legion, now a 1 versus 3, and he's close inside of Laundry. This could potentially be another kill as he tries to pop flash Bry. Lucy very close up, but there is a cam to be able to location, and Dylan can't land the shot as the Jaeger was there to help anyway, even if he had won that fight against the Lucy. Team 99-6, and we're tied up the half, 3-3.
They do bring it back at the end, and like I said, Bry, well and truly involved in the majority of that play. Now going into the half, Team 99 on the attack. What are we going to see? Where is Pryde heading first? And it will be downstairs, so we are going to see back-to-back dining kitchen bomb sites. We see a bit of a change. We're not going to be running the roster that we've seen for the majority of the map so far. We see a Maestro, a Vigil, and a Cade making their way through. Operators that we really haven't seen much of or at all, I believe. Yeah, and then we go Oni is going to be bringing the Pulse instead. It's an operator that is traditionally played on this bomb site because of how much information you can get and how freely you can get it with that scanner. Interesting to see whether we see Pryde start to run away with this. I mean, it's anyone's game really at the moment.
Yeah. 3-3 half means that we just can't tell how they could go either way. Pryde starting on what is typically the tertiary site is certainly interesting, but it's not uncommon. We'll be playing up top, likely with the Vigil and the Malusi, with support down below by the Pulse and the other two C4s of the Cade and the Mute. That's kind of how these holds tend to go. It's pretty stock standard. And Team 99 are going to be tasked with flushing it out. Of course, they are not bringing the sledge, though. Maybe not expecting dining to be the first site. That's kind of the only reason I could think of bringing a Thatcher over a sledge in this case. But we'll have to see how. This is also, I think, the first time we're seeing Pulse on Villa, which is certainly interesting. Normally, he's a pretty common op here, but I don't think 99 ran him at all.
No, not at all. We aren't going to see it. And again, replace Nitros. The name of the game here. And last minute barricade does go out. Very, very spread setup from the side of Team 99. You got players all over the board. A little bit of a lack of cohesion could mean that the refrag potential is just not there for them whatsoever. Salt in his roam through Statuary at the moment. Going to be a real nuisance on that roam. Haven't seen a huge amount of it so far, other than, you know, 1 or 2 players off running around for Team 99's defense. And Pryde, they're well and truly committing to it here. I mean, the question is, are Team 99 going to do their drone work?
It might be a little bit tough, considering there is a mutant Vigil on the board, but it should not be completely impossible. As I said, Salt and Sam, the Vigil and the Malusi, are the ones up top. Oni from below, trying to scan out these attackers and find their heartbeats, but this is a mostly horizontal push. They're not even really taking these guys out from above, but Oni will punish that. The Pulse, though not from below, will still get a C4 kill, and look at that. It's Rizzer. That's Thermite. And with the way Team 99 are attacking, that is probably the best pick that Pryde could have asked for.
Oh, that's exactly it. Losing out on your hard breach that early on. You know, largely... There are some
that's the one that blew up Rizzer. It's just bugged.
Okay, yeah. And there we go. The other rank star in the team now down. At least there is a refrag coming out both ways, and all of a sudden, in a matter of seconds, Pryde just cut down the kill feed, and it's all on Braxton. He finds one, can't find the second. Oni on the post there to finalize it out, and first round of the half does go the way of Pryde.
Yeah, dining room, excellent play. That was a completely horizontal attack from Team 99, and it got blown up by a C4, flanked by a Malusi and a Vigil, and just completely shut down. I try and clear up top, and it bit them. 4-3 as Pryde retake their advantage. They'll go to AVG. Thank God Braxton is not going to be playing the Blackbeard. Otherwise, I would be angry. I hate Blackbeard. AVG, I imagine they're not going to be playing with the open floor plan. Just because they have so much. We got the Cade. They've got oh no, they just got the Cade, but Cade being so powerful and the fact that they're bringing a Maverick and not a Thatcher, I would imagine we have the similar child that Team 99 in their last AVG defense.
Well, yeah, it's looking that way at the moment. It feels like there is a lot of on-the-fly play happening here. It's a slightly different setup than what we've seen. Footholds opened up into study, so could see somewhat of an aggressive setup as they are. It's an interesting one. Okay, so they are going for a pretty horizontal spread, all said and done. Players all over the board. The Goyo, not unseen, but I'm not sure what Crafty and Dylan are doing. They're just chilling. Okay, there we go. They're moving now. And yeah, this is a very, very spread hole.
Sam and Salt all the way over towards... I mean, they've been a dynamic duo so far through this map. Of course, you know, the scoreboard doesn't show it because of the rehost, but they were two star performers on the attacking side, and they'll try and, well, meet the full brunt of this attack. There's 4 people currently top floor with Braxton off by himself doing, I don't know, whatever Braxton's doing with the G8. There's no IQ, so, or no Valkyrie, so the IQ pick is, I mean, there's a Cade, and I guess you can find the Cade clause from below at IQ. Going 90, so that's obviously not really what he's playing for, as now Team 99 have droned out Master, seen those 2 players, and said, you know what, let's not go there, we'll go study.
Yeah, it just feels like a pretty heavy commitment for Oni. Come on, buddy. Do it. Oh, it's Sam to go down first. There we go. Jump out, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Fraction does get it. So 2 big frags being found. Oni and Sam do go down. And Team 99, they're looking good to potentially equalize here. TCSG from below. So an ambitious play here. Might be able to find something. But it's bright to find the next one. Crafty going down. We could see our first flawless round of the series here. Not a single point of health lost here on Team 99.
Dylan is still alive, though. So anything is possible. He and Salt jump a 2 versus 5. Finally, Brian Riz will both take damage, and there's the first pick for Dylan, and 2 more line up. He'll deal a lot of damage, and the shotgun will finish off Cal. A triple kill for the flank is shut down. It's just Dylan. He will have to ace to win. Another gas canister goes out, but no. It'll whiff, and that was his last one. He does have diffuser control, though. The shot's raining above the bar, and one flanking in from the class. Pryde taking out the launcher to try and stun in as Braxton has recovered. No, he hasn't recovered the diffuser. It was inside the site. He's got the top angle, though. He's spraying down, but no, Dylan finds the kill, but Braxton shuts down the clutch attempt. A great try by Dylan. He nearly gets the ace, but this little angle by the IQ top of his head, and Team 99 are still able to take the round.
Stop it! Stop letting Dylan frag! Damn it! The man is unbelievable in these clutch situations. I have not seen anyone in Season 4 able to pull off the things that he does. 4 kills on his own. He almost found the 4th. And as we head back to Aviator Games again, I mean, it's a victory, but it's a bittersweet one. The fact that they came so close to losing it in what was a 1v4 situation. Almost a 5v2, I think it was at one stage.
Yeah, it was a 2v5 down to a 2v3 and then a 1v2. So that was I was rooting for Dylan, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought he was gonna have that, but Braxton shut him down. That was a really good heads-up play to hop on the couch and get that angle over the bar. Because otherwise, if Braxton didn't do that, I was away with it. Very low on time. Diffuser was in the Smoke's control, but just that little bit of mispositioning and the good heads-up play by Braxton, he won the ace clutch, unfortunately for Pryde. Now we're back to the 4v4, but back on G, I think Pryde have now adjusted their strategy. They've got that little open kind of footholds on 80 adjustment they're going to make.
Well, I mean,
Did they
deck
have that in the
4-4.
last round? Oh, they did have... No, wait. They had this round?
What's that?
Little footholds.
Yeah, no, they had that in the last round.
Oh, yeah, okay. They had it in the last round. My bad.
Already, again, we see early positioning. 30 seconds, 40 seconds-ish, just gone in the round. And already got people inside, ready to go. I'll convince
All right.
someone is going to be there. Braxton finds the opener. That's Salt going down. Once again, they are finding these early frags, these key kills. Under some big people there. Well, no Goyo. No Vector, no Nitro Cell from him, and they're starting to dump that utility into Aviator. Nitro Cell prepped and ready here for Oni. He really has to thread the needle, and the opening of that roof might give it away. Nitro Cell deep. Pryde goes down. Somehow they get away with it.
Wow. And then Sam just kind of dies on main. Unfortunate. So, Pryde looking like they were going to equal. They'll equalize again as Oni takes Riot out from atop the shield. 3v3. Minute and 25 seconds left for the attackers to try and push in. And you can see the Maverick kept the bar wall open, and Throffball Crafty is just going to spray down. Nice, very bullets to spray in. Connect of the IQ. Now trying to push in, will take a little bit of damage from Cal, but both he and Rizzer have to stack up on this doorway and play in a 2 versus. That will actually deviate from his team. Where's he going? To the skull rappel? I actually gonna swing, and I have just never seen someone swing into that window. So Cal is now on the opposite side, so he can kind of provide better cover, but now there's a smoke canister delaying him even further. So that all right, Rizzer's running a suppressor. 30 seconds. Cal is still stopped at the doorway. Rizzer's not getting this plant down. All the defenders have their eyes turned over towards these attackers, and Rizzer just looks away at the wrong time. Easy kill for Crafty. It's Cal, 1v3. He downs Oni. That's great, and he's able to kill the Maestro. Dylan in a 1v1 to try and clutch up as these Pryde have just thrown themselves at the Nomad and been successful. He sees that the pickup is happening, but as he hops up, his gun is down, and Dylan picks him up. Pryde take round number 9 and reestablish their 1-point lead.
There is no way Dylan dies to that position 2 rounds in a row. No way. That's a little bit of vengeance, a little bit of payback for him. But hey, yep, Pryde once again. This has got to be getting a bit tense here for Team 99. They are 2 rounds away from being shut out of playoffs, missing out on a shot at the grand finals. There is a very real possibility that the grand finals will be played against the 2 bottom seeds going into playoffs.
Who do you think is going to go to the grand finals in D2E? You think D2E?
I would have to imagine it's probably going to be down to earth. Their play has been rather consistent and rather solid. They've got some insane fraggers on the team, and the team cohesion is just insane. But I mean, Emergence has proved they have the capability to upset Agoria as well. Just, I don't know what that guy is on, what his diet consists of, but the guy just frags. He currently holds, I believe, the record for the most competitive kill matches in a competitive match. Was also that 24-round banger between Emergence and Redux. So, I mean, the way that I saw them play in the quarterfinals, it's vastly better than anything we've seen from them in the regular season. So there is, I definitely think that there is a possibility we see Emergence and Pryde both make it into the grand final.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Even then, I still think it'll probably be D2E. I'm just trying to imagine, like, who has a better chance against D2E than Pryde?
Well, I mean, honestly, on paper, it should be down to earth, but I mean, on paper, Emergence probably should have lost against Wichita Wolves as well.
That's true. Although Emergence did beat Wichita season 2.
They did indeed. I don't know. The level of play that they're bringing at the moment is super high. And speaking of super high, Sam is propelling that kill count as high as he can. Riz, the unwitting victim. Jackal, you brought it to deal with that offsite presence, and now it's dead. Feels like a wasted pick almost.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Also lost your Jackal, who is one of the, premier roam clearers. As well as Rizzer, who's been, he's of course not top fragging, but he's been pretty solid through this first half of Villa. Braxton is trying to frag. Little does he know, Oni is behind a soft wall to his left, the mute just kind of chilling. Sam throws out a C4, not knowing that all the way up, but Braxton doesn't know about Oni. And that's an easy kill for the mute. 2 kills now going the way of Pryde with no back from Team 99. Oni holding another very dirty angle. If the Nomad peeks around there, she is surely a dead, well, I was going to say dead man, but it's Nomad, a dead woman. Brian now holding the angle as they've kind of traded places. They think the mute is still in the ball, and that will be Bry's death. Oni will kill. These 2 roamers have just done away with every single member of Team 99 that has pressured them. Riot now inside of Vault as Sam has fallen off, but Oni is still behind Bar. Cal holding down Classical Hall into 90. Sam peeks. He'll likely die to this Nomad, but no! Cal stops watching it, and it's another death for Team 99. It's just Riot, and Oni shuts him down. A flawless round for Pryde, the first one in this entire series, and both the roamers over in Study take down all members of the attack.
Team 99 didn't even see the bomb site, let alone get close to getting onto it. Pryde, they've flicked some sort of switch here. That's, well, they've strung together 2. It's the most so far in the second half that have been put together in a row. We're heading down to Dining Kitchen. This is looking bleak. There's the map point, series point here in the first semi-finals between Team 99 and Team Pryde.
Who got the opening pick that round, by the way?
It was Sam onto Riz.
Okay, so Sam got the 3K.
Yeah, this is bleak. This is very, very bleak right now. I mean, we've seen them bring it to overtime in the last map, so very really possible that Team 99 can do it again. But I mean, it could be a case that Team 99 have spent all that energy pushing it to overtime in the first map and just don't have enough in the tank to do it in the second.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just kind of like an endurance thing, right? Like they just kind of run out of steam after that first map, and Pryde haven't. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Last time we saw it, Pryde kind of destroyed him. Team 99 all tried to do a full take, and boy, was it unsuccessful. I would love to see an adjustment. I would love to see them try and go up to these roamers, because last time it was an absolute punisher.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Punished indeed. There's just, I don't know how you are not in a position to refrag 2 players. 2 players, I was going to say single-handedly, but together took out all 5 members of Team 99 without losing out. A flawless round where 60% of the team did absolutely nothing. And starting things off, Salt is going to find the opener onto Carl. Carl going down, that's the Nomad. Roam denial now gone. It's going to be largely in the hands of Riz. This is just brutal.
Yeah, it seems like everywhere, at least in the past 2 rounds, including this one now, everywhere Team 99 goes, Pryde is just there. They're patiently waiting for this jump in. He's got the lock on the heartbeat, but Salt takes out Pryde. Another kill for the roamer upstairs. I said I would have liked Team 99 to clear this, but now it's kind of going even worse than when they hadn't. Now Riot will get one of them. Down goes Salt. It's a late refrag. Still one. There's still Sam. The Pulse has been spotted out by the IQ. She can go for those shots through the floor, but she exposed herself too much. She sees the Pulse. Oni could be not long for this world, but he puts away there just in time, and it looks like the player upstairs, Sam, has fallen off. Rizzer could be able to scan his footprints, but Sam knows, a minute 20 down, we've got a one-man advantage. I can fall off, and here comes the vertical destruction, but it works against the attackers, but not for long. Riot takes a lot of heat, but Dylan just can't land the rest of his shots, and there's the equalizer.
Well, 4 nitro cells picked up. Not a single one of them connect so far in this round with a minute left to play. Oni goes down next. Riot just on an absolute tear for the team. Good ace up here, but low health. Crafty pushing towards Laundry. Here's the drop down. Can he find the frag? Braction's there. He wins the gunfight regardless. The information was there in the favor of Pryde. And now all of a sudden it's on Sam's shoulders, alone in a 1v3 with 36 seconds left to play. Pushing downstairs. Riz is in the bomb site. Braction has the plant.
Oh!
And they find the frag, and Sam takes out Braction. Denies the plant. Can Sam find anything else? Going toe-to-toe. Can't do it. Riz from behind. Team 99. 1 round away from yet another overtime.
All right. AVG is back up for Pryde. They are on this site, but they won't go there. They actually want to try dining again.
They're also 1-on-1 on dining as well, funnily enough.
Yeah.
In fact, the only bottom site they have a flawless record on is literally Split, and it was a flawless kill win.
Yeah.
But
what I will say about dining though is that the first time they won it, it's because Team 99 just didn't do the right take. They tried to go horizontally, didn't work at all. Second time, when they actually try and clear the roamers, they lose 2 bodies, but the important thing is that they were able to kill that roamer, take the top floor control, and they used that vertical presence to a T. They got 2 picks through the floors with no response from Pryde. Pryde need to stop that from happening if they want to shut this out, because if Team 9 same roam clear and have the same, we could be seeing overtime.
Well, we'll see how it goes. 15 seconds till we head into the action phase of the final round regulation time. Crow, it has been neck and neck. Both teams battling here in the second map. I mean, the first one went to 18 rounds in the end. 10-8 the final score. There is a real possibility that we head to overtime again. Sam prepping the walk-in closet window. Is it going to be a run-out nitro cell throw? Is going for the run. No, he's going to go for the shots. Will be seeing nothing gained. Nothing really lost other than positional information. But I mean, with the change to run-out time, they were going to be very aware of his positioning. Already off-site presence here. Once again, Salt in the last round was able to find 2. So hopefully Team 99 understand that and will be showing due respect. They need to deal with this roam game if they want a chance at OT.
So Salt's up there again. But this time, he doesn't have any help. Curiously enough. Right? Because last time, Sam was up there. I'm not sure how much it helped because, Salt was able to just get 2 free kills. Oh, no, okay. He's now walked up Astro. He is now up. Salt just killed, what, 3 drones? All by himself? Poor drone economy so far from Team 99. But the C4 is going to miss. Something that I was going to say that I would like to see from is them hit their and so far through this round, that has not come to fruition.
Well, they had 4 in the last round, did not hit a single one. Same thing again, except they've got the one left in the hands of Oni. It has become a question of, is there a point to bringing that much explosive utility if you're not going to be able to connect and do the damage? 1 minute 15 on the clock. Breaching rounds going out. They're starting to establish that verticality. Braction does go down. Nitro Seller again doesn't find anyone, but no, it does. Only with a double in the end. It was a breaching round that I saw. And this could spell the beginning of the end. Carl tagged up, so is Pryde. And they are 5-man strong here on Team Pryde. Salt goes toe-to-toe, wins the gunfight. Well, neither of them actually die, so we'll just pull back off the angle, but it's Risen from behind. Does find the frag, does bring it that much closer to equal. Carl just trying desperately to play this verticality, trying to enable the team to get in. They need to find 4 more frags with just over 30 seconds. Sam is going to take down Riz. This looks like it might be it here for Team 99. They are 2 frags away from being knocked out of the playoff stage. And Pryde Gaming could be the one to move on into the grand finals. And Pryde goes down. Sam finds it for a double. It's all in the hands of Carl. No chance. No hope with 15 seconds left. Sam again shuts it out, takes it away. And it will be a 2-0 going the way of Pryde.
Big for Sam towards the end there. 7 for Pryde. And I think we can call that an upset. A lot of people were really trying, really thought it was going to be Team 99 to pull it away.
I mean, it was 57-43 in the community vote, so
yeah, it was fairly even, but our staff was certainly excited. Just want to say, I was right. Eat it, everyone who voted Team 99.
I mean, look, it was a close run thing. On paper, it probably should have gone the way of Team 99, but the cohesion has very much been there for Pryde the last couple of weeks. They have really ramped up their showings the last couple of appearances they've had. And Keg, welcome back.
Hello.
Much quicker break this time around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not as long as a matchup as we saw for number 1, but let's talk about, on paper that Team 99 should have won. What did Team Pryde do that really blew things out of the water? Because again, even in terms of the community, for us staff, it was pretty excited towards Team 99, but Pryde, they found the edge on both maps. Crow especially, what happened?
Pryde, like I said, just seemed a lot more aggressive. Cafe, they were toe-to-toe, and eventually Pryde was able to just delay long enough in overtime defense. On Villa, Pryde started things off real. They played the aggressors and eventually wised up for it and were able to take 3 in a row. But on their defense, Pryde just seemed like everywhere that Team 99 pushed, there was someone from Pryde waiting. And it happened that majority of the time, Pryde was winning their gunfights.
Yeah, I mean, look, Team 99 coming to this were known to be a hyper-aggressive team, and Pryde matched that at almost every key moment throughout the series. They were the ones constantly looking for aggressive fights. We saw that flawless round win in round number 10 where 2 players held off the entirety of Team 99 without dropping a single death. I think it was just Pryde bringing that aggression, and Team 99 won.
Fair enough. And Panda, you yourself said that this was going to be a very hotly contested map, and you weren't wrong. But it didn't go into overtime like I think a lot of us were expecting it to go. How did Team Pryde, specifically on Villa, just be able to maintain that same consistency, especially over such a long cafe we just saw?
I think probably the biggest difference between the 2 teams going into Villa was Team 99 weren't willing to commit to a heavy roam game, which is something that you can utilize on a map like Villa. There's so much ground you can cover. You can sit a couple of players off in, the far corners of the map who then come in later in the round and affect some real change. We saw Pryde commit to that as soon as they hit the half. We saw Salt and Sam offside consistently being a nuisance to this team. We saw Salt on a solo roam by himself in Statuary find 2 kills before being traded out. It was the work that they were doing from that offside position, and then Dylan with a massive 1vx plays. Even if he didn't always win them, he was still a huge factor and not pushed Pryde over the edge.
So it seems like it was almost a game of those individual plays, right, from each team member?
And that compounded with the fact, obviously, the communication was well and truly there from, as much as, yes, it was Dylan sitting in the 1vx situation, the team was 100% combing positions. They were feeding him the information that he needed. Unfortunately, he didn't always win them out, but that was one of the key factors in why he was able to pull those up.
Fair enough. And Team 99, maybe they had a little bit more team cohesion, I guess you could say, but it just wasn't quite there. They weren't up to the mark, right, Crow? They had those pushes in mind, but they just kind of fell apart at every which way.
Yeah, it seemed like a majority of the time, we were talking about Team 9 aggressive, but Pryde was just toe-to-toe. every gunfight. Just a lot of those confrontations were going their way. On the roam clears, Team 99 were definitely falling flat. Point when they tried clearing study and all died to those study. Even on some of those executes, especially the last round, Oni hit a C4. Pryde haven't really been on top of their C4s, but it really mattered in that last round. And Team 99, I mean, they started to ramp it up again towards the latter half of the first split of Villa, but after that, it just seemed like they cooled off again, and Pryde had their number.
Yeah, fair enough. One thing that really impressed me too towards the very end was the double kill on the C4 that Oni got.
Yeah, that was a huge round change. You know, we were talking about how, so far on Dining, they have not hit a single C4, and then their very last C4 on the very last round gets 2, and it seemed like Team 99 were just at a loss of what to do after that.
Yeah, it really pushed them edge. I think the other thing that probably affected the result, Pryde took an entire map to come online. I think if we'd seen Pryde playing at that level in map number 1, we would have probably ended Cafe with Team 99 take.
Ooh. I guess maybe that's something to look forward to next season, right, for Season 5?
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of Season 5, we're coming close to the Grand Finals now. One thing I wanted to mention before we talk about the Open Qualifiers again is that, we might be seeing the lower seeding teams come out into the Grand Champs. Crow, I think you were the one that mentioned that, but I would love both of you guys to think. Do you think we could see another upset?
I don't think Emergence beats D2E. Just because, Emergence have looked a lot better than they did in the regular season, but D2E versus Emergence was towards the latter half of our regular play days, and D2E kind of destroyed them. So.
Fair enough. But let's get it straight from the horse's mouth as well. We have Oni, the double kill C4 master here with the interview. What's up, Oni? How you doing, dude?
Doing very good now.
I bet it was stressful in map 1, right?
It was definitely stressful. Like when we're up so many rounds and then they started bringing it back, it was like, especially after we went into OT, it was like, but I would say it wasn't our confidence. Like we had confidence that we could we're not gonna let them come back. Like the whole time we're thinking, okay, we have to win. We brought it all the way. Like we might as well just win this map, and then, we just had to get these few rounds, and we ended up taking it.
I would love to know, expanding on that, I would love to know what the mentality was once Team 99 started getting all those rounds, round after round. They were 2-6 against you guys, and suddenly it was overtime. You said that the confidence didn't really go down, but what was the mindset as you guys kept losing those rounds?
A lot of the rounds is just like, okay, we're getting a little bit sloppy. Like we could pull through. They're doing a lot of things wrong that we see, and we know that we could win these rounds. But it was just a lot of the sloppiness and a lot of the calls that we're making and the plays and when we're timing and all of our time management was very bad going into the attack. And then, but then once we got into OT, we started talking about, okay, we need to focus up. We got to do it how we started. And then our time management started being a lot better, and we started executing a lot more smoothly. And then it just started going a lot better once we hit OT. We're a lot more confident once we started to really slow them down.
I mean, that overtime really was something, right? Now, as a player and as a team, was that the longest competitive game of Siege you've ever played?
Yeah, I think for me, at least, it is.
How were you able to maintain that same amount of consistency all the way through to make sure you guys win that?
I don't know, just focus on even if you lose a round, it really doesn't matter because I'm not a player that gets tilted or mad really. I'm always just consistent. Losing rounds, you're always gonna lose rounds no matter what. Even if you're playing the worst teams, there's always a chance to lose the round. It's just, having in your mindset that it's okay, doesn't matter last round, we just got to bring it back. And I think that is really important when it comes to being consistent.
So it sounds like that mentality was kind of multiplied, over and over again once you guys came into Villa, because there wasn't really as much of a contest that second time around. Now we have the stats on the screen right now, and you especially #1 on your team in the ratings. You went 13-5, and of course that's also including that double kill on the C4 you got. Just you were able to keep that mentality up, but the rest of your team, how are you guys able to keep it all together for not only probably the longest game you guys had on map #1, but even this 2-0 in general?
Definitely the map one, us winning that was huge for us. Like, especially Crafty, like it might not show on the scoreboard, but he does so much. Like especially as like the iJone, like he calls a lot of shots and he's like the biggest hype man in T3. Like when we won that first map, like we were like, okay, we got this. It was a big like confidence boost, especially since a lot of people didn't think that we could do it. Like especially with like, it's like, oh, they got new Sin players, right? But Salt and Crafty have been like one of the best teammates that I think I've ever played with. So it's definitely been like, for us, it was always like, okay, we gotta make this a big upset, and we're gonna like take both these maps.
Fair enough. But with that being said and done, though, you guys have made your way all the way to the Grand Championships. You win the semifinals for Season 4. Of the two teams going up against each other in the second half of the semifinals, which team would you rather face in the Grands?
Got a lot of friends on EMG, especially, but I always want to. We have a losing record when it comes to playing X, INC, or Down to Earth, so I kind of want to play them just to show them, like, okay, we might be able to get some maps this time.
Ooh, so I mean, it's kind of a personal story with you guys in Down to Earth, right?
Yep.
Ooh, that's gonna be very interesting to watch. Now, Oni, you've deserved this position right now. You have a platform to not only tell all those people on Down to Earth or EMG what you think about going to those grand finals, but you have so many fans, enemies, audience members watching right now. What do you have to say to all of them going to the grands?
I mean, I just want to say, like, we're gonna play good. Hopefully, we bring it like how we brought it today. And I want to thank our org, because our org is amazing, and we have one of the best streamers. It's the John Springer now on Twitter, and he was doing a stream party for our org. He's so cool. He's actually such a like huge part of like our Siege team and like helping us like get more like viewers or like interactions. And then I also want to say to all the people that see Braction and they're like, oh, XCL, you know, Rizzer left them. I mean, no hate to Rizzer, I still love him, but you know, we took the dub in the end.
It seems like it, and now we can only hope that you can maintain that into the very end, and who knows, maybe we'll have another interview again. But Oni, thank you very much for coming on here. I can't wait to see more of you guys play in the Grand Championships, and I wish you the best of luck.
I always believed in you,
All right,
Oni.
thank you so much.
I always believed in you. All right, well, welcome back, guys. That was a very impressive interview here, and now we get to see at least one team going into the grand finals, but there's still a whole nother set to go. Between the two teams, I know you guys won't be casting them. I'm just curious, who's going to come out on top?
D2E.
Yeah,
That was pretty
I
quick.
gotta back down to earth as a little bit as well. I mean, just there has been a lack of consistency for Emergence and Down to Earth, and just on the whole have been the more consistent.
Fair enough. I would love to hear, you know, what kind of consistency are we talking about, Panda, when it comes to EMG? Because after what we saw yesterday, they played a pretty solid game.
Yeah, I mean, Goria is usually the one stepping out, leading the charge for Emergence, and yes, the rest of the team did step up to sort of match what he was bringing yesterday in their quarterfinal match, but it's still one of those situations where you shouldn't be relying so heavily on one player to do the majority of the work. The entire team is sharp, and we saw it today. That's kind of what happened in map number one. Pryde and wasn't really stepping up to the rest of the team. He was lacking behind. He didn't come online until map number two, and it lost a couple of rounds for Team 99.
All right, well, with that being said, we at least know one team going to the Grand Championships now. We have Down to Earth versus Emergence next, and if you love the gameplay that you've seen here, of course, Blue Panda and Crow have been amazing casters to see throughout the semifinals so far. But what about Season 5? If you're interested, if you have a team that isn't in an SES yet, we've said it once, we've said it twice, we've said it so many times, what are you doing? You gotta go sign up. But with that being said and done, you've heard it 1,000 times, and I'm sure we'll be saying it again going forwards. But we're going to be taking a very small break while we get things set up for the second set of semifinals, and we are going to be back in a few minutes. Panda, Crow, it was a pleasure having you guys, and I can't wait to be a host for you guys sometime soon.
Until next time, guys.